I'm going to sentence you to 15 years in the Department of Corrections, to be followed by 10 years of probation.
The Tallahassee man pled no contest to second-degree murder for killing a 16-year-old.
That teen was live on Instagram when Danquies Anderson shot him.
This video contains the interrogation of a man who shot and killed a teenager. Danquies Anderson and Josh Purcell were from rival groups involved in an escalating feud. Although they hadn't interacted much personally, they could recognize the other on sight. When Purcell heard that Anderson's group had given his friends a hard time, he became angry and declared that he was going to confront Anderson. On the way to Anderson's house, Purcell started a live stream on Instagram, stating his intentions. He said that while he was armed, he wanted the confrontation to remain physical. Anderson wasn't going to sit back and do nothing. Instead, he and several friends grabbed a gun and went to meet Purcell partway. Spotting him crossing a church parking lot, Anderson fired at him. When Purcell began to run, Anderson chased after him, continuing to shoot. Once Purcell had fallen to the ground, Anderson fired several more shots into his body. The entire confrontation was caught on camera.
So I'm going to try to take some notes here, so I may stop you at certain points. I may, ask some clarifying questions. So I know if I go back and ask you what were you doing on July 15th of 2020, you're not going to know, because I wouldn't know what I was doing unless there was a big event that happened that day. And then that day would be clear to me. So I remember, because I got called to the scene, so I remember pretty much everything that I did that night. So knowing that that was a big event, if we can start from, did you go to school that day? Well, that was summertime, right?
Yeah.
So were you doing football practice? Were you doing anything else that day?
No, I was at Portrait House.
You was at where?
I said I was at Portrait. I said my master.
Yeah.
I was at Portrait House.
Okay, so you're at Fort Trey's house, and that's
on the game.
Yep. Okay. So about what time did you get to Fort Trey's house? Like, did you spend the night there the night before?
I think I was already at Portrait House. Yeah, I always be over there.
Okay. Had you been there? Were you there? Did you get there when it was still daylight, or were you there at lunchtime? Just kind of trying to figure out when you got to Fort Trey's house.
I got to Fort Trey's house. It was daylight, or either if it wasn't daylight, I was already there.
Okay.
I was already there, and then it just went up to that next day.
Okay. So we don't exactly recall when you got to Fort Trey's house, but you were at Fort Trey's.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, what's the relationship like Trey? He's just some dude that y'all hooked up with, you and your brothers, or what?
I knew Fort Trey, like he was always like, God, make sure we out of trouble, make sure we go to school, guess what we need, and shit, like make sure we straight.
The detective is trying to figure out the group dynamics, since it played a large part in the fatal confrontation with Purcell.
Gotcha. Okay. So you're chilling over at Fort. What do y'all normally do? Watch movies, play 2K,
Yeah,
or
play the game.
Yeah. All right. So y'all over playing the game. What was the evening like? Did your brothers come over? Any of your brothers come over at any point while you're at Fort Trey's house?
No, they don't come over. It just be me. Before teachers would be like, oh, just you since you be like going to school. Oh, just me. My brothers ain't come over there though. My brothers at the crib.
Okay. All right. So, at what point during the night did you become aware of the incident that happened close to your house, the shooting and all that?
It was like, cause I was asleep. It happened. Boom. I guess it happened. Then after that, I was like, where you at? Nah, I know it happened. Then my brother was like, where you at? I guess he heard shots like close by the crib. He probably ain't know who that was, so he probably like, where you at? Then I'm at Fort Trey house. What up? Then he asked me, he hit the shots, cause it's like you ain't gonna hear him though. If you wasn't MP, you ain't finna know.
Oh yeah, not for me.
Yeah. So I'm like, nah, I ain't finna. So I guess somebody had got shot. But he asked me where I was at Fort Trey house though.
Did he tell you where he was at the time? Okay.
But then y'all had his phone, right?
Yeah.
Y'all could, yeah.
No, I'm just asking. I'm not asking like I think I know where it was at the time. I'm
he
asking.
called me.
Yeah.
He was at the house. He called me.
Okay. How do you know he was in the house?
Either he was at the house or he was at the stove.
Okay.
One of those.
Just assuming he was close by because he sees what's going on.
Yeah, because
Okay.
he heard it. So I mean, he had to be.
Yeah.
I think he was either at the house or at the stove. He was at one of those.
All right. All right. So did your brother know the details of what had occurred at that point? Did he tell you on the phone, "Hey, this is what
No,
happened"?
he just heard shots. Like he just
Okay.
heard shots. Like the neighborhood, like the neighborhood ain't know nothing. Like the neighborhood ain't know nothing. Like ain't nobody from the building doing this. Ain't nobody from the building doing that. So
Yeah.
you call, he'll make sure you straight.
I mean, typically, Tuskegee is a quiet neighborhood. You know what I mean? So it's not like this stuff happens there all the time because it don't ever happen right there. You know?
Right? That never happened over there.
No. I mean, you go a few blocks north, yeah, but nothing ever happens there. Maybe you go a few blocks south. It'll happen, but not in Tuskegee.
Deep in the south side.
Yeah. So, all right. So, at what point did you become aware of kind of what had occurred? Because there was an Instagram live that was out.
When after that happened, everybody posting deals like make sure your people down in the street at the church.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody had posted it and I had a screenshot and I reposted it. So I'm like make sure y'all people straight. They said there was a lot of police over there by like Bethel and like I think that's all Bethel and Fanny. There's a whole bunch of police over there. Everybody was over there. Somebody had and got shot.
The shooting took place as Purcell was crossing the parking lot of a church, where he was ambushed by Anderson.
It was all on Instagram though. Like after Spat had
All right. So you saw the post on Insta. What's your Instagram handle?
my Instagram, Mr. Getty himself.
Okay. So Mr. Getty.
Mr. dot
Uh-huh.
GETTYHIMSELL.
Alright. Okay. So you're seeing the stuff start rolling in. Did anything that you saw, any of the posts on Instagram, did it mention like you, your brother, your family, anything like that by name?
Nah, no sir. I just seen like check on y'all people. Everybody was just saying that
Just check on your people, because
Like,
nobody knows who got shot.
Right.
Everybody's like check on your brothers.
I guess they just like. It was traffic. It had to be traffic because what time it was when somebody got shot?
Oh, it was like right at dusk, so like 8 or something.
Right, it had to be traffic, and I know everybody was like, oh, check on y'all people. Somebody hadn't got shot.
Yeah.
I know they was uploaded.
Yeah, no doubt. So after that first phone call that you had with Daniel, where he was like, "Hey, where you at? Did you hear the shots?" Did you talk to Daniel anymore that night?
No sir.
Okay. What about with Danny?
No sir.
And you talked to your mom?
No sir.
Okay.
See, after that, I went to sleep. I went to sleep.
So, at what point did you learn who had been shot?
Who said when I know who?
Yeah. At what point did you find out
It was like
who had been shot?
first they were posting, oh, check on y'all people. Then probably like 30, 45 minutes after that, everybody was posting until I got shot.
Yeah. The guy that got shot, what do you know him by? What nickname?
I know they call him. He used to go to Leon. I know he used to go to Leon. He used to run track, play
Mhm.
football, shit like that.
And by people,
I know of them because they in the city, but I don't like know them. Like, oh yeah, I know them.
Mhm.
Type.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just know he was from somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
No, I just heard he was from somewhere else.
Gotcha. All right. Any issue?
To have a problem with them like that. I don't even know y'all to have a problem with y'all. I just be like, oh yeah, I know him. I know him.
All right. At what point did you become aware that I guess that your mom had kind of received death threats that night?
That night.
Yeah.
That night.
Yeah.
Same night that happened.
Yeah.
I ain't never known nobody that.
Yeah. It was enough that there was enough happened that night, kind of people coming on strong against her, thinking that Getty Mob, her sons,
Woman had told me about somebody.
that she took little Danny and they went to your sister's house on Briarwood because they were scared to be at the house. So you didn't hear nothing about that night.
Anderson claims that he didn't know about the threats against his mother, but that isn't very likely. It's something that at least one of his family members would have told him.
Okay. All right. So
I ain't even talked to my mama that night.
yeah.
Like, I ain't even had no phone then.
So earlier that day, all right, we've got pretty decent information that you and Jameek were together earlier that day. You remember seeing Jameek that day?
To me?
Yeah.
No. Right, they was saying somebody to fight. I'm trying to hear about what they talking about somebody to fight. Somebody had a fight a couple of hours before.
Had you been with Jameek that day?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Okay, and somebody, I'm assuming your brother or your mother, has already mentioned to you, we had questions about whether or not you had gotten into a fight with Jalen and his people, Jalen and James, maybe.
In fact, I'm glad I followed a wreck in the yard somewhere.
Where was you been raking a yard at?
No, I was just being sarcastic, but I know I ain't want to fight nobody though. I was just being sarcastic, don't be working up the yard.
I got you, but so that's kind of what we're looking at. So if there was an altercation between you, if these guys jumped Jameek, and we've already had people tell us that happened. Some of the people involved in that incident have already told us that happened. So I'm asking for kind of your take on that situation. But you're telling me that there was these guys didn't jump you.
No, anybody jumped me. Ain't nobody touched me that day. Ain't get hit that day, no nothing.
Okay, you're saying that day. Was there a point in time
earlier
that these guys jumped you?
It was never. I never came skin to skin with these boys.
Okay.
They never touched me.
Okay. And just to clarify, you're saying we never touched each other. Did y'all get into like?
Nah, I want no altercation, nothing like, okay.
Go ahead. Tell me.
It'd be like raps.
Okay.
Like raps. It'd be raps. They be thinking all this and that. Like, cause like when something happened, it's a month. Oh no, bro. My brother was rapping about something.
Yeah.
My brother rapping about something. They trying to put this with that and this with this, saying all comments on. It just be like. I don't know what it be, bro. People just think we just be worried about them, bro. Beefing with them or something. It don't be none of that. We been in our own lane, making music out the way.
Okay. So no actual fight. You weren't standing, and we're saying no arguing or yelling back and forth face to face is what you're telling me. The most it might have been was y'all rapping back and forth, posting stuff on social media about each other. Is that what you're saying?
Nah, it wasn't that. It was just like, it wasn't really with the rap stuff after that happened. It wasn't really with the rap stuff after that time.
Okay. I'm gonna stop taking notes for a minute so that I can focus on talking to you and making sure that you understand what I'm talking about. I want you to feel me. I want you to get what I'm saying. And you need to pay attention. It's serious at this point. So we get called to a scene like this, and there's a body laying on the ground, and we start investigating it like a homicide. And when I say every time somebody's killed, like the statute says it's a homicide, okay, but there's different levels of homicide, different types of homicide. There's justifiable homicide, and there's like cold-blooded, premeditated homicide. So we generally start investigating everything like a cold-blooded, premeditated homicide, because that's all we know when we get there, bro. But then as we're investigating, we start getting more information, okay? We get the Facebook Live. We get it. We get it from Facebook, from Insta. So we've got the whole thing, we're watching it, okay? So the live?
Mhm.
Okay. On live, calling out your brother Daniel specifically, and he doesn't just say, "I'm coming to your house." He is walking down the street with his homeboys on the live, ranting, raving, screaming at the top of his lungs, angry as he can be. You can tell that he means business. He's talking about how he's going to hurt people, how he's going to hurt y'all, how he's going to hurt Daniel, how he's bringing fire. And he doesn't just say, "I'm coming to your house." He says, "I am coming to," and I quote, 538.
The detective has very specific details, which lets Anderson know that he doesn't have much leeway to lie. Right now on my Patreon, you can watch one of the most disturbing scenes ever recorded on an interrogation room surveillance camera. It's a combination of desperation and carelessness that resulted in something incredibly shocking. This video is not suitable for sensitive viewers, as it is extremely unsettling. You won't find it on YouTube, but you can watch it and many more exclusive videos on patreon.com/strangerstoriesplus.
Tuskegee Street, meaning he knows where you live. His intentions are clear. I'm coming to your house. I know where you live, and you can watch him getting closer and closer and closer to your house. He knows right where he's going. He's going through the church parking lot. He's going up the cut, and he's going to 538 Tuskegee, just like he said on live. And this isn't like a 5-minute live. This is like a 20-minute live. It just goes on forever because it's from the time they start walking from like four points all the way up north and through Wanish and through the church parking lot, and they're going to your house. This thing happens 300 feet from your house, bro. So he has made his intentions clear. I'm going to the home of the Andersons at 538 Tuskegee. I want Daniel, but I'm going to get everybody I can. There is no doubt that he means business. So we, as investigators, we got our detective hats on. We're pretty good at what we do. We say, "Oh, that guy was going there to hurt somebody. When he got shot, he was going there to hurt somebody. Well, we need to find out who that somebody is that he was going to hurt, and we need to interview them, because we're going to sit down and talk with them and their family members, and they're going to say, yeah, that dude was coming to get us, so we had to defend ourselves."
Right.
Because that is justifiable. Based on everything that we see on the live video, this guy is coming to mess some people up. He has said who he's going to mess up. He said the house he's going to mess up, and now he is just mere feet from the front door.
Why you coming to do that?
Well, we'll get to that in a second. And he has said, "I'm coming there." So we know at that point that there's a very good likelihood, if the people that did this will talk to us, they're going to say that it was justifiable. And the evidence on that 20-minute long Facebook Live says, oh yeah, he was coming there to hurt somebody. You can see how somebody has to defend themselves, okay?
Right.
And this is not me pulling the wool over your eyes, all right? That's just the facts. That's the way it is. So then we start looking at things like, okay, not a premeditated murder, but something justifiable, okay? So we just need to get the facts from the other side. That's it. We come and we talk to you, we talk to your brothers, because think about it. You're a smart kid. You're not a kid anymore. You're a man. You're a smart man. If you're in my position and this guy is saying, "I'm coming to 538 Tuskegee to get the Anderson people. I'm going to get Daniel. I'm going to get everybody that's there and bring him a fire." And then you see him on the live walking towards the house. Who would you think went out and for whatever reason, maybe self-defense, got into it with that guy? You think it would be some of the people from 538 Tuskegee. You think it would be Daniel, because he's calling Daniel out by name. You think it would be any of his brothers that were home. Okay, that makes perfect sense, that they would be the ones that would come out and keep this guy from getting to the house. Okay? Because he's already said, just hear me out, he's already said, "I'm coming to get you. I know where you live. This is your address," and he says the address. "I'm coming there right now." And then just 300 feet from the front door of that house is where the incident happens. Okay, so as investigators, we're saying, okay, these are the people he said he was coming to get, and then he got himself 300 feet away from the front door of their house. So they must have been out there defending themselves, because, that's what the video shows us, all right? And then as we start digging into it a little bit further, we learn about the incident with Knowledge Gibson. Now, I'm not going to talk about what happened at Holton Street with Knowledge Gibson with his claims that Getty Mob, maybe your brother or some other Getty Mob people shot up his mama's house, because I don't know if that's true or not. What I do know is true is that Knowledge Gibson came into your house when your mama was there and held a gun to her head.
Exactly.
I know that's true, and you know that's true. I also know are super tight with Knowledge. So I know that y'all got beef with Knowledge. I know that Knowledge has got beef with y'all. Knowledge gets locked up after what he did, which is he came into your house and he held a gun to your mama's head. And now these people that are tight with Knowledge are on live saying, we're coming to your house. We're bringing fire. We're going to fuck some shit up. We know where you live. It's 538 Tuskegee. If I was one of Miss Stephanie's sons and I saw that on live, I would not let those people come in my house, because they have already made their intentions clear. They are going to hurt Daniel. They're going to hurt me if I'm in the house. They're going to hurt Stephanie. They're going to hurt my little brother Daniel. We cannot let this happen again, because we know what they did the last time. The last time Knowledge came in with a gun and held it to your mama's head.
By making his actions sound reasonable or even justified, the detective hopes to lower Anderson's guard.
If I don't get on Facebook, okay, but let's just say that I'm in my house and somebody is walking down the street and they start yelling threats. I'm coming to your house. I'm going to kill your wife and your kids. What do you think I'm going to do? I'm not letting them come to the front door either. I'm going out there to where they are. I'm not going to let them close to my house. I'm not going to let them get my wife. I'm not going to let them get my kids. Okay? They made their intentions clear. They're going to hurt my family. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to keep them from doing that by any means necessary. Okay? Whatever force they present, I'm going to return it right back at them. Okay? Because I'm justified in doing so. So that's what I'm here to ask you straight up. Did you or one of your brothers have to use some type of justifiable force to keep these people from coming to your house and doing what they said they were going to do and what they'd already done one time before? That's what I want to know before we go any further. Okay?
Nope.
Okay. All right. So that's where we're at. I appreciate you coming up here and talking to me. I have more questions I need to ask you, because there's some things that have already come up in the interview with your mom. Okay? So what I'm going to do, and look at me. I understand, because I don't want to freak you out or put you in fear. Okay? I just spent a whole lot of time telling you about her case. Now I need to ask you questions about her case that are more particular and probably, to be quite frank, more confrontational than questions about where you were at a particular time. Okay? So I'm going to advise you of your Miranda rights. You're not under arrest right now. Okay? You came up here of your own free will. Okay? I have no plans on putting you in handcuffs. But you may say something that's incriminating. You might tell me a lie. You could say something that's incriminated. You might admit that you have knowledge of this. Okay? So I need to read you your rights and make you aware of them. Okay? This is the same thing that's going on in the other room with your mom right now. And I need to ask you some questions about the things that she is saying. All right? So you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have them present with you while you're being questioned. If you can't afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish. And you can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand each of the rights? Okay. To my knowledge, you haven't asked for an attorney at any point today. All right. Having your rights in mind, do you wish to talk to me now? You can talk to me about the incident. If you come to a point where you don't want to talk to me, you can just tell me you don't want to talk to me anymore, and we're done, and I'll go sit in on the interview with your mom. But I have some questions. I need to ask you about some things that she's saying. I have some questions I need to ask you about the video footage. And I have some more questions I need to ask you about different people that you may or may not know. Because if I'm taking it at your word and you're telling me that I didn't do this, then my next question would be, obviously, did Daniel do it? Could Danny have done it? What about Duke? What about Those are going to be the questions I have. Because right now, we are solely focused, I'll be honest, we're focused on you guys, and I've already told you why. All right? So if there's evidence that sways us and shifts us away from that, I need to know what it is. So if you're willing to talk to me, I'll talk to you. All right? Are you willing to talk to me?
Am I willing to talk?
Are you willing to continue talking to me at this point?
Yeah.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get you to sign right here. This is not any kind of admission of guilt or anything else. That's just saying that I read that form to you. As is our policy, you know. So the question that, I guess the first question I want to ask you, you're telling me that you didn't do it. Do you know who did?
No, I didn't do it. I don't know who did it.
Okay. And you're saying you were at, I keep calling it Trey 4, but it's 4 Trey, right?
Right, but it don't matter. It don't matter. Though.
Well, his jersey number is his jersey number. I don't want to mess it up. But,
all right, he did. Right, he did play for 4 State.
yeah, I talked to him. I talked to him. And I don't believe a word he said, to be honest with you.
No, he said that.
I have my doubts that you were over there all night, and that's what I want to ask you about. I interviewed him shortly after this happened. Other than his story, which didn't make a whole lot of sense, there's nothing that really says that you were actually over there at his house all night long, spending the night. You know, from pulling video and Wi-Fi and talking to him. You know, and then we go back, myself and Sherry, we go back and we re-interview him, and this probably would have been like 3 months ago now. Did he tell you that we came back and talked to him again?
Mm-hmm.
So he had moved. So he had moved. He was at a different apartment complex. We get there, and there's Fort Trey. Fort Trey doesn't come to the door. There's another 16-year-old kid that comes to the door that he's taken under his wing. And Fort Trey tells us more or less the same story, but he kind of messes up some details about whether you were there the whole time or not there the whole time. And now your mom is in the other interview room, and she just said that you weren't at Fort Trey's.
There's a discrepancy between the witnesses about Anderson's location, and the detective is more inclined to believe Anderson's mother.
All night that you were at home. So.
I'm gonna check.
Is she
I was
tripping?
at Fort Trey house the whole night.
Okay.
Oh God.
Okay. Okay. Because the message I just got was, she says Danquies was at home. Your mama loves you. Your mama loves you. But she's ready for this to come to an end.
I know I'm part of this to come to an end, because she like, what are they coming out? My kids, somebody even did this and that.
Sure. So here's the other thing. We got the live back. And not just the live, but we got all the comments and all the messages that were coming in and out of the live. You were on the live, bro.
I heard I was on the live.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
on the live, because you got live video?
Mm-hmm.
So what you telling me you're gonna see my IG name join?
Mm-hmm.
You can show me?
Yeah.
You can show me that. You
Yeah.
can show me that.
Right now, number one, you're gonna take my word for it. I haven't lied to you yet. I'm not gonna lie to you. All right, you're gonna take my word for it at this moment, okay? If Sherry Bennett, who's the lead investigator on this case, after she's done showing that video to your mom, you can watch it too if she'll let you, okay?
I only know who was going live. I only know nobody on live till y'all say somebody on live, somebody this and that.
Well, who else has access to your Instagram where they have your password and everything else? Nobody
at my password.
Yeah. So, Mr. Getty Mob himself joins the live.
That's wild.
It is wild.
And disrespectful, because I ain't enjoying nobody live.
Okay. So that's the question I got for you. Is Mom's given some indication that you might not have been at Fort Trey's house. Insta looks like Mr. Getty Mob himself is joining the live and throwing.
Portrait house. And you telling me I joined the lie? You telling me I said something on the lie?
Well, no, what I'm telling you is that your mama says that you wasn't at Fort Trey's house, that you was at home. Okay? That's my understanding.
I thought my mom was at my sister's house.
No. She left and went to your sister's house after all this thing happened because she was getting threats. To my knowledge, your mama said that night, when we talked to her that night, that her and Danny was home. Okay?
So they came back home?
No, they were at home when it happened. They left after the shooting, within an hour or two of the shooting, because people had come to her house threatening her, and she'd been getting threatening stuff, maybe on phone calls or social media, I can't remember which.
So they was on Facebook.
Yeah, so they got out of Dodge and they went to Briarwood. Okay? But that's neither here nor there. Your mama is giving some indications over there that you were at home. Okay? In a little while, we'll bring your mama in here. We can talk together. Your mama's going to sit there and look at you in the eye and say, yeah, he was home that night. You got to tell her that she's a liar. Don't tell me. Because I don't think Miss Stephanie will lie.
During the interview, the detective plans to bring in Anderson's mother. She might be more effective in getting him to talk.
About it. She's been through too much. Now, so your mama's saying that. Instagram is saying that you logged on. And that she's watching the live. And the comments were going out. Okay? So, that's the evidence we have. You're telling me it wasn't you.
What I said on them?
Huh?
I said someone.
I can't remember. I have to ask Sherry. This case 8 months old. She knows it like the back of her hand. I mean, she can show it to you.
But you don't remember me doing nobody lie. I don't remember me saying none of nobody.
Okay, so that's the question I would have for you, is who would have your phone, who would have your device, who would have your password that could get in your Instagram and join live like that? And you're telling me nobody.
I'm telling you, nobody got my password.
So,
He said comments were going. I don't know what I said. If I joined that live, boy. Who going live? Yeah, I don't remember me doing no live. I don't remember me saying that. Nobody live. My mom said I was that hotel. That was wild. Cause I want to know what hotels.
well, I'll step over there and clarify that in a minute. So, look at this from our perspective, from my perspective, from anybody that is a rational, reasonable person. When I talked to Daniel says, yeah, of course he gave two versions of where he was when this happened, right? His last version, he's with Zoe, and as they're coming home, he sees the flashing lights over by the church. They pull up in the yard. He goes inside. Your mama's there, Danny's there, but you're not. So he calls you on the phone, just like you say, and he says, yo, bro, you all right? And you say, yeah, I'm good. And he's like, okay, just making sure. And that's pretty much the end of the call. I'm like, okay, where was he? He's like, oh, he was at Fort Trey's house. I'm like, all right. Y'all didn't discuss, like, what was going on 300 feet from the door, that there'd been a shooting there, and there's like, 1,000 cops parked over there, blue lights everywhere? He's like, no, not really. No, we didn't talk about it. Okay. And I tell him, hey, what's your brother's Insta? And he tells me, oh, Mr. Getty himself. Like, all right. Well, he was logged on to the live. So why wouldn't he tell you what he saw on the live? So, I don't know. You tell me he was logged on. I was like, yeah, he was logged on to the live. So you're telling me that Danquies, like, never told you, like, what had led up to this. And that doesn't make any sense. If you're logged on to the live, and you're at Fort Trey's house, threatening to kill your brother, threatening to come to the house, to hurt you, to hurt your mama, to do what knowledge has already done once before. If you saw that on live, your first instinct should be to call your brother. and say, hey, are you home? Because you need to watch out. This guy's coming to get you. Is Mama home? Because this guy's coming to the house. He knows the address. He said the address. He's walking to the house. I can tell he's walking down Wanish on the live. He's getting closer to the house. Get Mama and get Danny out of the house. Get them out. That's what a person would have done if they're over at Fort Trey's house watching the live, and we know you're watching the live. That's what you would have done.
I'm trying y'all gotta show me, cause I don't remember me telling nobody lie. So you were telling me, I said something, you see me, you say, it said investigating himself, and you see me, like, I said something on live?
Yeah.
Anderson is not going to willingly admit that he was logged in at the time. As the detective lists everything he knows, you can see Anderson's eyes dart around as he tries to come up with a better lie.
Damn, you gotta show
But
me.
even if you didn't say anything, whether you said anything or you didn't say anything, that doesn't mean anything to me. It doesn't mean anything to me.
But
And I'll tell you why it doesn't mean anything. They say what they're going to do when they get there. They say what they're going to do. They say where they're going. They say who they're going to do it to. There is no doubt that they mean to do violence. There's no doubt. So whatever you comment or don't comment doesn't mean anything. It don't mean a damn thing. It doesn't change things at all, because we already know what they were coming to do. You could have said, oh, you guys come on over and have ice cream. It wouldn't matter. You could have said, if you guys come over here, I'm going to kill you, and it wouldn't matter, because we already know what they're coming to do. We already know that if somebody has to defend themselves in that situation, it's probably justifiable. We just need to hear it from them. So if we've got electronic evidence showing that you were watching the live, then we would expect for you to call your brother, to call your mother, to call your little brother and say, get out of the house, run, hide. These guys are coming over there. I'm all the way over here at Fort Trey's house. I can't get there in time. I'm in AP. I can't get there in time. You need to get out of the house, because they're almost there. They're getting closer, Mama. They're getting closer. Get out of the house. But you didn't do that. You didn't make that phone call from Fort Trey's house to warn them about, because you weren't at Fort Trey's house. You was at home. You were at home. I think that Big Brother Daniel wasn't at home.
I was at Fort house.
It was you
And
and
then we
Danny.
go to after. I got a call. After like 2 calls. I ain't got up to like after 2 calls. I wasn't even up. Look, I'm trying to tell you for you to show me.
I'm hearing you.
See Mr. Gidding himself joining somebody live.
I'm hearing you.
Cause I don't even be doing nobody live, nor coming in nothing. Coming don't matter. You say that don't matter. I don't see me. I don't remember doing nobody live.
You would definitely remember this, because they're on there for 20 minutes as they're walking towards your house all the way from 4 Points. Calling your brother out by name. I would expect, if they're calling your brother out by name, it would have been him that stepped up and defended the family. He swears it wasn't him. He swears it wasn't him.
It wasn't me in it. No.
So if you're swearing it's not you, that you're not there either, then there's only 2 people in the house. It's you and little Danny. I'm sorry, your mama and little Danny.
Come on now.
That's what I'm talking about.
My mom not been doing like that. My other brother not been doing
Your
like
mom, and that's, hey, bro, I feel you, man. Your mama would have called the police.
I'm gonna call the police.
She'd have called the police, and the next person she would have called was y'all, to let y'all know so y'all could lay low. She would call the police and she would call y'all. Danny, I'll be straight with you. I didn't even know Danny existed until we talked to your mama and Danny was there. Do you know why? Because you and your brother have had a few bumps with the police, so you got your names in some reports, okay? Danny ain't never.
You know.
Danny ain't never. There's no record of him in any law enforcement database prior to that night at all.
They got stuff for me in.
Yeah, you're in there.
What they say?
It wasn't anything bad. It wasn't anything bad. It was just something, saying that use Daniel's brother or something like that. I don't know. Wasn't anything horrible. But little Danny ain't even he ain't even so much as got his name in a police report anywhere in the state. He goes to school and plays sports and looks like he stays out of trouble, and that's great. For the most part, it looks like that's what you do too. Now,
Hey, my brother got shot behind that shit.
yeah. So I'm asking you, And here's the thing, it's the same thing I asked Daniel. If it wasn't you, literally, the people say we're coming to the Anderson house on Tuesday at 5:30 at Tuskegee. I want Daniel, I'm gonna get everybody, we're bringing fire. I'm gonna hurt everybody there, okay? And then right as they're stepping through the cut from the church to your street, 300 foot from your door, is when it goes down. It's because somebody knows that they're coming to that house, and somebody knows they have to defend themselves. So I'm asking you, was it you? Was it little Danny? Or was it Daniel? And the reason I'm asking this is because we're tired. We're tired of this case. We're tired of not knowing.
No, y'all,
We know, and we don't stop working these. We can't. We got to keep working.
gotta be our job.
So what's going to happen is we've got all of these little bits of evidence, and it's going to get tied together. And let me tell you how it's going to get tied together. Because only one person got shot, 2 people ran away, and then we interviewed them. And you know what they told us? I'm lying to you about anything. He basically told us to go fuck ourselves. You know why? Because the code of the street says you don't talk to the police. Then you know what happened?
What?
One of those 2, it was on his hard head. Knew that knowledge was wrong about what he did. This is what he told us. He come in this interview room, okay, about 5 more times. And every time he came in the interview room, he came up here because he said he wanted to talk to us. He wanted to tell us who he saw shoot his friend. And every time he would come in here, and his body would lock up, and he would start crying, and he would start shaking, it's because he wanted to get it out. He wants to tell us who it was he saw shoot his friend. You know why he can't do it? It's that stupid code of the street. And he would sit there, and he would go silent, just tears streaming down his face.
Who?
This person that was there with Josh, and you know him if I told you his name, but I'm not going to. And he's like, oh, he's sitting there and he's crying. He's like, I want to tell you, I can't. They just won't let me. They won't let me.
Who?
And I'm asking who. And he's like, the streets, my friends, everything about the way he was raised, everything about the culture he's found himself in that tells him he can't snitch no matter what, even if his best friend got shot. And he knows his best friend was wrong. He knows he was wrong what he was doing, but he still wants to tell us what he saw, and it's tearing him up, it's eating him up inside. So 5 times he comes in. The last time, he was about to say it. He was about to say who he saw, and he just couldn't. He said, I can't. I said, I still can't do it. I still can't do it. He's crying, and he's shaking, and he's sweating, and he just won't say, because the code of the street says you don't talk to the police. That's the only thing that's holding back. But you know what? He's got plans like you do. He's getting out, and he will get out, probably just like you will, by getting a job, going to school, getting a trade, and leaving the neighborhood behind. But I guarantee you, probably not a month or 2 is going to go by, and he's going to be back in this room again because he wants to talk. And every time he's in this room, he gets this much closer to giving up that name for the pull trigger on his friend. Okay? Now, he's...
With a witness on the brink of talking, Anderson has a limited amount of time to convince the police to believe his story first.
defend themselves, okay? But he's probably going to come in here the next time, because he's getting softer every time he comes in here. He's getting a little bit softer every time. He's going to come in here. Probably the next time he's sitting in this room, he's going to give that name up. And that name is either going to be you, it's going to be Daniel, or it's going to be Danny. It's going to be one of those 3. That's
Watch through though.
Huh?
I said watch through. It can be anybody.
No. And all the beef with knowledge that you and your families had, okay, we're being told that there was a fight. You're saying it didn't happen, that's fine. We're also told there was a fight that day. Alright? This guy is on Facebook Live calling out you, your brother, and your family and saying he's coming to your house. As he's stepping through the cut 300 foot from your house is when the incident goes down and shots are fired. Who else would it be? Somebody random just happened to be walking along and says, I'm going to rob this guy, as he's doing a Facebook Live with his 2 friends behind him, ranting about how he's going to go kill the Andersons, you know what I mean? So,
I don't tell him who he'll be with, because he's from the other side of town. From the other side of town, he way over here.
That will be the most random thing in the entire freaking world. Okay? So you can see, if you're telling me it's not you, then that's fine. Hold on to that. Don't take offense that I say that the evidence would point towards the Anderson brothers, okay, as being
You know what I'm saying? The whole city been, oh, get them all. It was
Sure.
Either it was him,
Sure,
either it was
sure,
him,
sure.
or it was him, or it was him.
I get
Everybody's
that.
saying that, bro.
Because they see the same things that we saw. It's just we see even more evidence. I mean, we're taking into account video footage, cell phone evidence, we're taking witness statements, we're taking DNA evidence, ballistic evidence, all this stuff we're combining. So what I'm telling you is we've got all these small pieces of evidence, and all it's going to take is for this kid, the other one, or somebody else that knows about this to come in and say, this is who did it.
This threat isn't very concerning for Anderson. He knows that it is unlikely that his friends will cooperate with the police.
And one of the two people that was there is close to breaking. The other one, next time he gets hooked up and put in the back of a police car, what's he going to say? I can solve a murder. And he's going to put his spin on it. Not y'all's spin. Okay, he's going to put his spin on it. But he's going to tell us who pulled the trigger, because it's beneficial for him. The other kid wants to do what's right because he's eating his heart up. It's ripping his soul out. The other one, he's going to do it to protect himself next time he gets arrested. He's going to give it up. No doubt. So one way or the other, one of those two dudes, in the very near future, is going to say who pulled the trigger. All right? One of them is going to put his own spin on it. The other one is like, yeah. Happened. That's where we're at, and all it's going to take is it's going to be that one eyewitness or that one witness that knows what happened to come forward and put a name in front of us, put a face in front of us, and then we've got all this evidence pointing towards Anderson's. That one little thing is going to be all it takes, okay, to lock somebody up. And because nobody from, and I'm just going to say the other side because you're saying it wasn't you, nobody from the other side is stepping forward and saying, you know what, yeah, these guys were coming to our house. They already threatened us one time before, held a gun to Mama's head. They're on live, talking about what they're going to do to us when they get there. And we see them, and they're actually coming through the cut towards our house. So yeah, we had to do something. We had to do something right then before they hurt us, before they hurt Mama, before they hurt little Danny. You see what I'm saying? Nobody from your side is saying that. It's coming forward and saying, yeah, I had no other choice, So is that justifiable? Yeah, could be.
I'm saying, no, somebody, you can't tell somebody about something that you don't know nothing about.
Yeah.
Because you don't know nothing about it.
I agree.
Get like, that's crazy.
And who, when you say you can't tell somebody something about something you don't know anything about it, who are you referring to? Are you talking about yourself?
Yeah,
or are you talking about a potential witness?
I'm talking about for me, like,
Okay.
I'm talking about for me and you, like, for me to tell you, how can I tell you something I don't know nothing about? Type shit.
If you don't know anything about it, I wouldn't expect you to tell me. But what I'm saying is, for Trey, alibi and you don't stand up. For Trey's already got another dude that's under his wing. For Trey is that, like I said, his alibi doesn't stand up. Your mom's giving some indications that you were at home. Okay, I'll walk over there and I'll clarify that. Did she say, oh, he might have been home, or did she say, no, he's lying, he was at home? He was at home. And then we got your Insta user handle logging in, watching this live of this guy threatening you, your brother, and your entire family. And not only is he saying that he's coming to your house, but any fool looking at that can tell he is actually coming to the house. He didn't even just say, I'm coming to your house. He said, I'm coming to 538 Tuskegee, quote unquote. And you can see him getting closer and closer and closer. And by the time he hits that church parking lot, there ain't no doubt. And he's talking about bringing fire. He's talking about everything else. And then he steps to the cut. And when he steps to the cut, there ain't no doubt. There ain't no doubt what he's doing. Because he ain't just standing in the church parking lot and then he's stepping into the cut. He's coming to the house. There ain't no doubt. So if somebody did something to protect the family, then they just got to step up and say that. The longer this goes on, the more the shadier it starts to look. All right. I've already told you what would happen if somebody was standing out threatening, my family with a weapon in the street. They started walking towards my door, yelling and screaming about what they're going to do to my wife and my kids. I've already told you what I'd do. I would meet their force with my own force, and I would be justified in doing so. Because you cannot let anything happen to your family. Your mom has already been put through a war.
Sorry, I realized anybody was in here.
So. Okay. Sit tight for a second. You want a drink or anything?
You going in with Norma though?
I might, yeah.
You gonna take a long time to come back.
Huh?
So you gonna take a long time to come back?
No, I apologize to you. It was, your mom. When I said that it was your mom that said that, you weren't home that night. I was incorrect, so I'm sorry. But I lead you to believe that.
About time to go or no?
No, because it was your mom and Danny. Danny told us what happened.
What? What?
Danny told us that you were at home.
Danny knew I was. He knew I was.
No, you told me you were at Fort Trace.
Yeah, at Fort Trace he knew I was.
No. Danny said you weren't at Fort Trace. He said you were home on Tuskegee.
Bro, I was at Fort Trace.
No, you weren't. No, you weren't. Danny said we didn't have any choice. We were defending ourselves.
Defending ourselves for what? To do what?
Danny says y'all were logged on. Your username.
I'm gonna say I got a live, and you never see me doing nobody live. I know where I was.
No, you weren't.
Okay.
And now you're gonna let little Danny tote all that. Danny tells it just like I'm telling it. Just like I've been telling it to you. Just like I told it to Daniel. Daniel was with Zoe. You weren't at Fort Trace house. You went to Fort Trace house afterwards.
But yeah, Fort Trace house.
No, you weren't.
Tell me where I was. That's good.
Your little brother says that you were at home. Your little brother says that y'all was logged on. He showed you the live. Y'all were looking at the live together.
I'm gonna log on nothing. Y'all got a live video. Y'all gonna see me. Y'all gonna see Mr. Gay himself as join. Y'all gonna see it on God. Y'all gonna see that because that's what they say when you join somebody live.
Yeah, it says that. It says Mr. Getty himself has joined. It says that. You were on the live.
So it's it.
Your brother says, little Danny says that you were home on Tuskegee, that y'all were on the live. Y'all watched it. Y'all saw these guys come into your house talking about all the things we've been talking about, what they were going to do to y'all. It's you and little Danny there. Okay? Little Danny's in there crying, saying didn't have no choice. They was coming to get us.
I know where I was.
Yeah, you were at Tuskegee.
Y'all can't prove to me that I was at Fort Trace house.
Brother, I don't need to prove it to you. I told you this coming in, and you think I'm lying to you. There's
I don't think you're lying.
some white 40-something-year-old cop that don't care. I don't want you to go down in burning flames for this and not graduate this year and not go and get your trade school degree, learn how to weld and make all kinds of money. I don't want that to happen. Okay? I've told you everything about, you saw that live. You don't need me to explain to you what was on the live. You know that guy and his friends were coming to do business.
On nobody Instagram live. I wasn't on nobody live.
So Danny is lying? Or am I lying?
If you see Mr. Get himself doing somebody live, you gotta show me that because I didn't join nobody live. I don't even follow these people. I was like, what? There ain't no way you see me join that live.
Do you not see the olive branch that we've been offering you and your brothers
What?
all day long? That olive branch being these people were coming to hurt you, so you had to do something that was justifiable? Do you not
I know what
see
you're
that?
talking about. I know what you're talking about. I'm not. No, I'm not. Cause I don't know what y'all talking about. I can't. I understand what you're saying. You're saying like, oh, somebody come in your house and do something to you. I gotta defend yourself.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about. Self-defense. I know what you're talking about.
right.
I know what you're talking about.
We're not trying to hard time you. We're not trying to say that you did some premeditated murder because you had a beef with these people. These people had a beef with y'all, a serious beef. You know?
Anderson refuses to admit he was watching the live stream, even though it has been proven that no one else could log into his account.
Knowledge don't come to your house one time. Now knowledge's friends coming to your house a second time. Oh, why? Why are they coming to the house? I'll tell you why they're coming to the house. Because Knowledge got locked up for what he did to your mama. And they got to get retaliation for Knowledge so they can prove that they're hard. You know? And all that other junk, all that other shit they're talking. That's why they're coming there to the house. And they're gonna do what Knowledge did. Except this time, they're talking about bringing fire. They're talking about hurting people. They're talking about everything else.
We gonna move. They gonna know where we at. We're gonna call y'all. That's what we got y'all for.
For whatever reason, and it's probably because you didn't think there was enough time, and hey, guess what? You might have been right. There wasn't enough time.
For what?
That you had to go out there and take care of it. You had to protect Danny. You had to protect the house. You had to protect your mama, and anybody else would have got caught up in that. So you stepped up because Daniel wasn't there. You was the only one.
I know I was.
You weren't at Trade Force.
I know I was.
No, sir, you weren't. You weren't there. No matter how many times you say it to you can't even make yourself believe it. You can't make me believe it at this point. Okay? I've already told you. We talked to Fort Trey. All right?
I y'all talk about it.
I
had
get
to.
and
But y'all ain't had to. I know
We
y'all just
wanted
talk-
to.
I know y'all talk. You're right.
we
I know y'all
wanted
talk
to.
them.
We didn't just talk to them once. We talked to them 2 or 3 times. Okay? And I'm sure that he called and told you that we came and talked to him. I can guarantee he didn't tell you everything that he said. And I can also guarantee you that the last time we went and talked to him a couple months ago, it's like I said, he's got somebody else that's under his wing now, somebody else he's taking care of, and I don't think he's had any contact with you for a long time. He didn't have no loyalty to you. None. Okay? So I didn't necessarily need Danny to tell me that you weren't at Fort Trey's house. I already knew you weren't at Fort Trey's house. Danny admitting that you weren't at Fort Trey's house is a big step. It's a big step for him. It's actually a big step for you. It's a big step for resolving this. So at least do me the solid and don't sit here and lie to me, because I haven't lied to you about anything. All right?
Yes, sir.
Tell me what happened. Start off by telling me how the video made you feel, the live.
I was on a live video.
You weren't on the live?
No, sir.
Okay, when you say I wasn't on the live, are you saying did Danny join the live on your phone and then show it to you?
No. Why would Danny have my phone?
Okay, so you never saw the live is what you're saying.
I don't know nothing about no live. That's what I'm telling you. I don't know nothing about no live.
Did you know these guys were coming to your house?
No.
Okay. Okay. You know, I can only ask so many times.
I just know you. I just know you doing your job.
I am. I'm trying to help everybody involved here, because as it stands, we've been going after, we've been chasing this down for so long. This is going to sound bad, so don't take it the wrong way. About what he was doing. Okay? That would be like anybody that broke into your house in the middle of the night. They got what's coming to them, didn't they?
No matter how many times he implies that Purcell may have deserved to be shot, Anderson doesn't rise to the bait.
Okay? I get that. I understand it. So, you're going to have to let me hold that for a second. I'm not going to go to your phone. or anything like that without a warrant or nothing like that. I'm just going to sit over here so it's out of the way. I feel for you because you got put in a situation. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say for a second that maybe y'all didn't do something in knowledge, or your brother didn't do something in knowledge beforehand.
Who knowledge?
Knowledge Gibson. The guy that came into your mama's house and pointed a gun at her. The guy that we talked about for the last 45 minutes off and on. So I'm not going to pretend for a second that maybe Daniel or somebody else in the Getty mob didn't do something in knowledge to cause him to come over there and do what he did to your mama. Maybe. Regardless, what he did to your mama was a horrible thing. Okay? I'm sorry that you got put in a position where you're home and somebody's coming to your house saying they're going to do harm to you. Alright? Nobody deserves to be in that position, but hey, you were the one there. Alright? So I'm asking you, and you're telling me things that I don't believe, that I was at Fort Trey's house, that I wasn't logged on to live. Your own brother says, your own flesh and blood that was in the house with you says he was home and we were watching the live and we had to do it.
You had to do what?
What do you think? Had to go out there and meet that guy that's coming to your house to do harm to you, to keep him from getting to the house, to keep him from getting to little Danny, to keep him from getting to your mama, to getting to everybody, you know?
She could.
The whole thing is crazy. That's where society is gotten to today, you know? I mean, you're trying to do the right thing. Danny's trying to do the right thing. I don't know so much about Danny, I'll be honest with you. Sounds like he gets in a little bit of trouble here and there. But you're stuck in a world where as a young black man, your chances of being shot by another young black man are just incredibly high. And we just can't figure out a way to stop it. And in this case, these people are coming to your house. They're coming to your house for whatever reason. And I'll be honest with you, whatever reason they think they had wasn't a good enough reason. Whatever had happened before wasn't a good enough reason. To threaten people like that, to come to their house, talk about bringing fire, talk about hurting people. They didn't have no reason to do that. None. Whatever beef was there wasn't that serious. They should not have done what they did. They were wrong for doing what they did. So I'm telling you, I don't believe that you were at Fort Trey's. I believe Danny. I believe that you were logged on, that you were watching the live, not only because Danny says so, but because Instagram says so. I know if I was watching that video and this person is calling me out and coming towards my house, I know how it made me feel. I'm asking you how it made you feel. Because how you felt is what's important here. How you felt sets the tone for everything that happens from this moment forward.
Anderson does not make eye contact and is constantly fidgeting in his seat to keep himself distracted. Ignoring that line of questioning isn't going to make it go away, and the detective is going to keep pressing until he gets Anderson to start answering honestly.
When an officer has to take somebody's life in the line of duty, when somebody's a threat to the officer, presents a gun, a knife, whatever, tries to hurt, tries to kill the officer, and the officer has to shoot that person. What's the test on that for whether or not the officer was justified? There's been so much of this in the media. I know you pay attention. What's the legal test of whether or not the officer did the right thing? The legal test is, did that person who was threatening the officer present an actual threat? Did the officer recognize that threat? Was the officer put in fear by that threat? Okay, I'm telling you that based on what I saw on the video, what did it look like to you?
What? I don't know about no lie. I don't know about no lie.
Okay. Is Danny mistaken and he didn't show you the live?
I don't know no lie.
Did he tell you about the live?
I ain't know about no lie.
Why?
Ain't no somebody on live on the way to our house. Coming to do anything, somebody else coming to kill this and that, and do this and do that, and burn stuff up. What they coming to do that for?
Why?
Yeah.
Because of whatever had been done at Knowledge Gibson's mama's house that caused Knowledge Gibson
That's
to
what
come,
happened to the house.
and caused Knowledge Gibson to come to your mama's house and put a gun to her head. Whatever other beef had been going on, the fact that these people were tight with Knowledge Gibson. All right, that's why they were coming to your house. If I was in Anderson and I lived in Tuskegee, okay, if I'm your fourth brother, Nick, and I live with you guys, we're brothers, and I was watching that live, I would be scared. All right, I would have some kind of anxiety, some kind of fear that they're going to hurt my family. I'm telling you, the evidence shows that you were logged onto the live. Your brother says that you were watching the live, okay, and that you were at the house, not at Fort Trey's. And Fort Trey can't back you. I'm sorry, he ain't backing you. And you're still sitting here telling me that I didn't see the live. I was at Fort Trey's. My brother Danny's lying. Fort Trey's lying. The electronic evidence trail, the Instagram provided is lying. The live is lying. I wasn't watching.
I never said somebody was lying. I just told you where I was.
Right. You're telling me where you were, but you weren't. You weren't at Fort Trey's house when this happened. You went there afterwards. You walked there afterwards. And that's okay.
It's ain't okay because I know what the hell you talking about. How's okay?
It's okay that you didn't tell us to begin with when we talked to you the first time.
No, bro.
It's even okay that Danny didn't tell us the first time. All right? All of that's okay. We're giving you an opportunity to make it right now and to walk us through it. If this is justifiable, then it's justifiable. Okay? I mean, we've literally given you that olive branch. You just asked, we've told you what we think about how this got started. We told you how this would make us feel if we were in somebody else's shoes. You know, you saw the live. You know what he was threatening to do. So if we can't get over that hump, if you can't tell us exactly what happened,
What was I gonna say?
if you can't tell us what happened, then we've got an issue. Because right now, at this moment in time, everything is pointing towards you, okay? Your brother is saying, we ain't had no choice. Guess what? The live is saying, yeah, they were coming there. They probably didn't give you much choice. There wasn't no getting around that. They were coming. They were almost there.
What?
Nothing. Nothing. can't say it for you. You know, it's up to you at this point. I mean, Danny's over there talking.
I was talking to.
Huh?
I was talking to.
Yeah, but Danny's telling us that you were at home, and Danny's telling us that you were watching the live, and Danny's telling us that there was a threat coming towards your house, is what Danny's telling us. And you're telling me that what Danny's saying isn't true, and that you were at Fort Trey's house, and that you never saw the live.
And never came on my mouth about what
Okay.
he said.
All right.
I'm just telling you what I was.
Okay. All right. Is what you're telling me the truth?
Yeah.
Okay, well, in this set of circumstances, there can really only be one truth.
Y'all said I joined the live. Said something on the live. Now y'all saying I went home.
The only other option, which we're going to have to explore, so yeah, we did stretch our time frame out a little bit today, unfortunately. I'm probably not going to get lunch like I wanted because it's 3:15. But believe it or not, I mean, I care about this case, and I care about you guys and everybody else involved a little too much to go eat a sandwich right now. But the only other option that I can see is that Danny had your phone. Danny logged into live from your phone. That's why it says, you know, Mr. Getty himself.
Until they can get past this sticking point, Anderson won't answer anything about the rest of the night. The detective has to get Anderson to at least admit that he was at the scene of the crime.
And that Danny went out and did this. That Danny had to go defend the house. Defend himself. That's the only other option. That when Danny says we had to go do it, it wasn't no we. And it was just him. But I mean, you told me that nobody else would have your phone. Nobody else would have the passcode. You know? So, was it... How old's Danny now? 16? He was 15 when this happened. So, was it little Danny?
I don't know what I did. Yeah, I don't know, and I can't tell you something I don't know.
I know. I would never ask you to tell me something you don't know, because that doesn't do anybody any good. But Danny's in there in tears right now. I think part of that is because he's worried about what you're going to think, or what Daniel's going to think, because he gave it up. And the other part of him is probably scared because he doesn't 100% believe us, that we too feel like these people were coming over your house meant to do you harm. I don't know why he wouldn't believe that. He saw the live, we saw the live, you saw the live. There's no doubt. We show that live to a prosecutor at the state attorney's office, and they're going to go, oh, yeah, that guy was going over there to do some harm. You know what I mean?
Huh?
You see, you know what I mean? I mean, it's just that simple. We should stop pretending like you didn't see the live at this point, because we know that you did. You saw the live. I saw the live. We know what he was coming over there to do. Can I ask you why you're so adamant about saying I didn't see the live? The live?
Okay, because I know I'm not alive.
Okay. I'm going to ask you this again. And I want the truth this time. Were you at Fort Trace House at the time this happened? Totally. Absolutely. Were you? Okay. Were you at Fort Trace House when the live was going out and this incident happened?
Yeah. How long you gonna take now? How long you gonna take now?
It's gonna take a while longer now.
I'm taking my phone too?
For the time being. Yes, sir. I'm not gonna go through it. And there with your mom. Just opened up a whole lot more. Alright?
More?
No, I said he opened up a whole lot more.
Since the first detective hasn't made much progress, a second has been brought in. They might be planning to switch up techniques.
You and Danny and Daniel, even after this happened, y'all talked about it. And y'all were going to tell the truth about what happened. Because you realized that these guys were coming over there to do harm. But at the last minute, y'all got scared. Scared of what? Scared that you're going to get in trouble for something. And that's what you're scared of now.
How you get in trouble for something you ain't doing?
Brother, we are way past that. If you want, I promise you, if you want, we can get up out of this interview room right now. And you're going to get charged. Okay? That's not a threat. I'm just telling you that everything that your brother has told us, and everything that we know, okay? I don't need to go over it again, okay? But everything that Danny tells us is backed up, all right, by evidence we already have. Starting with you being logged on. Starting with us knowing that you're not at Fort Trace House when this happens. Okay? Certain details that he gave about what you told him occurred. I'm not going to tell you what those details are because I want you to tell me. And that's not me trying to pull the wool over your eyes. Certain details that Danny gave about things that you told him occurred, we know to be true. Okay? Danny's in tears. Daniel's still sticking up for you. But when we sit down in a room with Danny and your mom, Daniel's probably going to complain too. Not because he hates you or because he's not strong enough, but because he knows there's no point in playing this game anymore. There's none. If you realized before, the three of y'all put your heads together and y'all talked, and y'all said, okay, well, we know this is what happened, this is what's on the live, this is what the police are going to know because it's on the live. Why don't we just go tell them what happened? These guys came over, and they're threatening harm, and this is what we had to do. What you had to do. Why don't we just tell them? And y'all said, okay, y'all decided, okay, let's do it. And then at the last minute, y'all get scared. If you realize back then that telling the truth was the right thing to do, and, you know, it explains the entire situation, why now? Is it because more time has went by? It's hard.
And what are they doing? The time and all this.
Well, then why don't you just tell us what happened?
Tell you what. I'm trying to see if you already so-called claim that you know what happened. Why you gotta ask me what happened?
Because you're the only one that can claim self-defense for yourself. No one else can do it. No one else can do it.
For what? What did I do?
Here's what he
You
said.
shot somebody.
You
is what
shot
you
and
did.
killed somebody. You shot and killed somebody. Plain and simple. Your options are, tell us what happened, because we've seen the live. We can't claim self-defense for you. Okay? Or you want to go down the first-degree murder route and spend the rest of your life in prison. Those are your two options. But you're not helping yourself, because you think you're in here trying to be hard and you think you can deny it. You think you can deny it, but you can't.
But then I'm trying to be hard.
It's not hard. I know it's not. I know that you're tore up, and I know that you're scared. It's not necessarily you trying to be hard. It comes off that way, But I know from talking to you that you're scared and that you're tore up about what you had to do, all right?
Wow.
Danny's tore up for you. He's tore up for himself, and he's literally over there in tears.
I don't know what for, bro. I don't know why.
I think because you got put into this situation, and he's worried that
I got put in this situation because y'all heard what y'all heard, and y'all thought it was us.
No, your brother just told me it was you. You told him. You left that house after seeing that live video and said you're going to go defend yourselves.
The second detective is more harsh and accusatory, taking on the role of bad cop. If Anderson is merely afraid and not just trying to get away with murder, this approach may work.
You don't remember saying that to him?
No.
And then walking out the door and doing it?
No.
And then telling him how you did it? The details he has given us adds up.
We know from the live video that the details that he's giving are true.
You seen Mr. getting himself joined Instagram Live?
I sure did. I did a search warrant on your
ass.
Instagram page and got that.
Told you it wasn't lying. Your mom.
I never done a live. I said something on the live too? I said something on the live?
Mm-hmm.
Never said nothing on the live. Never jumped on
Okay,
the live.
fine. I told you before, it doesn't matter. It wouldn't matter if you said, I'm going to come out there and kill you. It doesn't matter. It don't matter.
It don't matter. I was just trying to make sure.
It does not matter. Okay? For all I know, Danny commented on live, holding your phone. Don't know, don't care. It doesn't matter. What matters is these guys were coming to your house to harm you after they'd already done what they did to your mom. Okay? That's what matters. Is how you felt, whether or not you were defending yourself, and what you did in detail that we can back up with evidence. And I would hope that it would match up with what Danny told us so that we know we're not getting lied to again. Now,
I never got lied to in the first place.
what?
I ain't never get lied to in the first place.
You're lying to us now. You were not at Fort Trey's house. You weren't at Fort Trey's house and you were watching the live. Okay? We can start right there. You've been lying to me about that forever. It's starting to make me feel like I'm not very good at my job, and that hurts my feelings. And please don't hurt my feelings, and don't insult my intelligence by continuing to lie to me and tell me that you're at Fort Trey's house. I've already told you, Fort Trey has got another guy over at his house, and he don't care. He don't care about you anymore.
You think I care if Forte care about me?
I don't know. Probably not.
You should
All
care
I'm saying
if
is
he's your only alibi.
all I'm saying is he's not alibying you.
No, he's trying to make.
He's not alibying you. That's the point.
Your brother's not alibying either. He's saying that you were there in the house. Do I need to bring your brother in here and let you see him?
Bring him in.
And let you say to him, brother, you're lying on me?
Bring him in.
That's because that's what you're saying. You're saying that Danny is lying to you. That's what you're saying.
Bring him in.
You're saying that Danny is lying, and I'm telling
That
the
never came out
truth.
of my mouth. That never came out of my mouth. Danny was
I'm telling you,
You never
what
called
Danny
Danny
said.
a liar.
Y'all can bring him in here?
I'm
You
telling you
never
what
called
Danny
Danny
said.
a liar. I'm
And
gonna
your
bring
mom
your mama
will.
in here in a minute.
Your mom was sitting right there when Danny told us every bit of it too.
I never said Danny was a liar. It never came out of my mouth.
It never came out of your mouth, but what you're saying is that what Danny's saying. You're saying that the statement that Danny's given is not true. And yes, Danquies, I know that you did not verbatim say that what Danny's saying is not true, but you're saying the exact opposite of what Danny is saying. You're saying I was at Fort Trey's house. I was never alive, and I didn't go out there to defend the house and to defend my family. That's what you're saying. Danny, on the other hand, is saying he wasn't at Fort Trey's house. He was on Tuskegee,
Y'all can bring him in?
and he saw the live. You know, this is your attempt to try to figure out. Look, they must be lying to me about what Danny is saying. They must be making this up.
I know such all along.
He's like, I know they haven't lied to me yet, but they might be lying to me about this. Maybe I can just hold out a little while longer. Just hold out a little while longer, and it'll all go away. Well, it's not all going to go away, because we believe Danny. Because Danny's version of events is supported by the evidence. This is not about pinning something on you. This is about finding out what your emotions were at the time, whether or not you felt threatened. It's just like she said, if this was justifiable, if you were acting in self-defense, then only you can tell us that. If we close the book on this right now, it ain't a self-defense case. it ain't a self-defense case. Because you didn't say. We given you plenty of opportunities to walk us through what happened in detail, to tell us how you felt about the threats that were being made against you, your brother, and your family, to tell us about how you felt when you realized that these people were coming to your house for real. They're calling out your address. You see them walking down the road, getting closer and closer and closer, coming at once. You see them coming across the church parking lot. You know that they are for real coming to your house. And you remember what happened the last time one of these group members came to your house.
There we go.
But you're not telling us that. You're saying I was in Fort Trey's house and I don't know anything about it live, and that's a lie. And I know you're not saying that Danny's lying. And I'm sorry, I hope it doesn't make you too mad, but I'm saying that you're lying.
Y'all say I had a live video. I want to talk.
You also sat in this interview room you remember back in July? And you told me you saw the live then. You not remember that?
I did not say that.
Because you even gave me your Instagram account so I could pull your social media.
Not even gonna
You asked me what is your Instagram. I gave my Instagram. I never told you I was on nobody live.
You said you knew about the live. Yes, you did.
Not even worried about what you said then. What you say now is what's important. What you don't say now is equally as important.
Anderson doesn't believe that his brother has told the detectives anything. And although, in this case, they are being honest, Anderson is right to be skeptical. They aren't under any obligation to tell the truth.
Because if you continue to stonewall us, this case goes one way. If you can show us how this was justified, just like your little brother thinks, then it goes a completely different way. All right? I'm sorry you're in this position. I know that you didn't make this bed completely by your brain. They were coming at your brother. They were coming at your house.
You tell me Danny didn't come while you were laying on the bed, come wake you up and show you the live?
No.
So you're saying he's lying?
Who the hell didn't wake me up by the live?
Danny came into your room and while you were laying down and showed you the live video.
On recorder. Nobody woke me up so we no live.
Bill Clinton didn't recall a lot of things, okay?
I ain't worried about things.
This is you and your brother right now. This is you and Danny. And this is Danny trying to do what's right, knowing that he's helping. And I don't mean just helping us, and I don't think he's helping you, and he is. Because he knows exactly what we know, because he saw the live. And he knows that there was a threat coming at you, coming at him, coming at the house, right then and there, at that moment.
Y'all got the live video? Y'all heard my name?
Yes, we got the live video.
Y'all heard my name on the video?
We got the
Would you
live
stop?
video.
Would you just stop?
I'm trying to ask y'all a question. Did y'all get my name?
I'm telling you, we don't have to tell you everything we got. You wouldn't be sitting your ass in this chair if we didn't have what we have right now.
You know your heart ain't lied to you yet. He wants to show you every bit of evidence.
So look, this is what I'm talking about.
Okay, go ahead.
If y'all looking at somebody shot and killed this dude, and if y'all know who did it, like, why y'all think?
Okay, so do you want? Yeah, we're looking at him. Do you want to leave this room in handcuffs, going on a first-degree murder warrant, or do you want to leave to go home?
To go home.
Okay, well, right now you're looking at the first-degree murder warrant because you're not coming off with the truth.
I'm not gonna sit up and tell y'all some shit I don't know about, bro.
Hey, hey. I understand, and I don't want you to tell me anything you don't know about either. But I know that Danny would be over there in tears. Okay? Danny would not be in tears.
Y'all can bring him here?
I'm not bringing him in here right now.
Oh, say you can bring him in.
Yeah, well, you know what? I changed my mind because you sat here and lied to me. You're still lying to me.
You I'm still lying to you? Okay.
Yeah.
When you come off with the truth, we'll bring him in here and let's talk to him.
You're not really doing anything to make me want to give you something like bringing Mama or Danny in here right now. Okay? You're not doing anything about wanting us to show you the Facebook Live video. And here's the thing, I've already told you, I don't have to show you the Facebook Live because you've already seen it.
So don't tell me you can show me it if you're not gonna show me it, bro.
What do you need to see it for?
I'm trying to see Mr. Get himself join the live. I'm trying to see Mr. Get himself coming to something. But since I so-called joined the bit live, so-called said something, y'all gotta show me that. Y'all can't just tell me that, bro.
We don't have to show you. Guess what? You'll see it when you go to court and you're sitting there on trial for first-degree murder. That's when you'll see it.
And here's the other thing. I've already told you, I don't care that you commented. We can tell that you joined the live. Okay? Forget if you commented or not. I don't care if you commented.
Nobody live.
You joined.
I did not join this man live.
Okay. Well, let's put it this way. Danny joined the live and he showed it to you because you were inside the house, all right? If we're gonna, if we're gonna hang on every little word and every little phrase, that I didn't join the live. Okay, Danny joined the live and he showed you the video. He showed you the live. He came and he got you while you're laying there in bed and he showed you the live. So when you keep saying over and over again, I didn't join the live, that's fine. You can keep hanging on that because technically you're telling the truth. Danny joined the live.
So what y'all saying?
You saw the live. Tell me you didn't see the live.
Told you that already.
You're a liar. Danny is not lying on you. But he's not lying on you.
Y'all really trying to go against me right now, bro. That's crazy.
This ain't about going against you.
Y'all going against me right now, whoa.
No, we're trying to help you to where you can actually have a self-defense case versus a murder case.
Y'all not trying to help nothing.
Okay, so you'd rather have a murder case than a self-defense
No,
case?
I'm not saying that, bro. Y'all talking crazy.
We're talking truth, and you're sitting here lying.
Both detectives are growing frustrated by Anderson's refusal to cooperate. Anderson remains calm. After all, just because they have evidence against him doesn't mean he needs to add to it.
You're sitting here lying when we're trying to help you have a self-defense case.
Y'all talking about self-defense.
You don't think it's self-defense, someone trying to go to someone's house and shoot up their house?
What would you consider it? Let's say, for example, okay, let's say it's not you, okay? And let's say this has nothing to do with your family. Same set of circumstances. Same set of circumstances with the Smith brothers, who live on the complete other side of town. Okay? Would the Smith brother that did this, would they be justified? Same set of circumstances that we've explained to you. Same set of circumstances that you know. Okay? Would the Smith brothers be justified?
Yeah.
Okay. Then we're on the same page.
Yeah, I get what you're saying by that.
Then we're on the same page. You got it? Okay?
Yes, sir.
We're on the same page. And that's what we're trying to get you to realize. We can't put words in your mouth. We can't tell you what we want you to say. We can't tell you what happened out there, even though we have a very good idea of a lot of what happened out there based on evidence that we have, okay? We can't tell you how you felt by the threats that were being made. We can't tell you what you felt like you had to do. We can't tell you whether or not you feel that it was justified. Only you can tell us that. Only you. That's where we're at, is we need you to explain to us why what you did was right.
What I did? What y'all saying? I killed somebody? That y'all saying?
That's
y'all saying?
Yes, that is what we're saying. That is what we're saying. We're saying that you were home with Danny. Danny showed you the live. You realized that the threat was quickly approaching your house, and you went outside and you met that threat. That's what we're saying. That's what Danny is saying.
Here's somebody try to talk. Y'all say I'm lying, bro.
Do what now?
Y'all keep telling me I'm lying about this, I'm lying about that.
Okay.
Like, damn.
Well, let's stop talking about you're lying, Danny's lying. Let's stop talking about that. And this is important. You might want to sit up. I mean, this is your life. This is your story, not mine. All right. So why? Let's forget about people who are lying. Why would Danny say these things?
I don't know.
Okay. When Danny says that you were at home that night, is he correct?
No.
Okay. When Danny says...
Wait.
When Danny says that you were at home and not at Trey Forrest's house, when this happened, before this happened and during the time this happened, I'm trying to be very specific.
I came home the next day.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
when I had to talk to y'all, I came home the next day.
right. So the night this happened, when Danny says that you were at home.
The night it was happening, I was at Portrait House.
Okay. So when Danny says you were at home, he's incorrect. When Danny says that he showed you the live and that y'all are logged in and watching it, is that incorrect?
I wasn't watching nobody live.
Okay. Was Danny watching the live?
I don't know. You just asked me that. I just told you the same exact thing.
Okay. And when Danny says that you believe that there was a threat, and he believed that there was a threat coming towards y'all's house, and you went out and you took care of that threat because you felt like that's the only choice you had, is he incorrect in that?
So basically what you're saying is he told you that I did it.
Yeah, he exactly what he told me.
If I wasn't clear about that, if you thought I was mixing words or trying to trip you up or trying to lead you to believe that Danny said that, no, fuck, Danny said that you did it, all right? He said that you damn sure did it. Now, he believes what you did was justified. I'm asking if what you did was justified. But Danny sure as shit said that you did it.
He said you were doing it for self-defense.
Oh.
You were defending yourself and the house.
So now that we got that clear, so there's no confusion about what Danny said, I'm gonna ask you how you felt, if you was in fear, and what you did.
Anderson is almost nonchalant, acting as if he will stroll right out of the interrogation room if he can just wait them out.
I don't know what to tell y'all, bro.
Do you
You
not
can
care about your life?
start by telling us, I know you do, because before we even started talking about anything serious, when you was talking about your future and everything, I'm not lying. I want you to have that future. I want you to get out of the neighborhood. All right? When you say I don't know what I can tell you, you can start by telling us how you felt, what emotions were going through your head. And these are the same questions I would ask anybody that was in a circumstance where they felt like they had to defend themselves. How did the threat that was presented to you, how did it make you feel?
I don't know what to tell y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to tell y'all.
Okay. What I'm talking about is when you saw you see that they're coming towards your house. You hear what they're saying, the threats they're making. They're calling your brother by name. They're calling out your actual address, the house numbers and all. How did that make you feel? Because I know how it made Danny feel. How did it make you feel?
Bro, how can I have a reaction of a feeling, but it ain't this easy shit?
Okay.
Y'all saying y'all seen me doing the live. I'm telling y'all, I ain't never doing nobody live, bro.
Okay.
If I would've done the man live, I would've told y'all, bro. Ain't shit to lie about, bro.
All right.
I would've told y'all I was doing the man live, bro. And if somebody would've showed me a live, I ain't doing nobody live.
Forget about the live then.
Forget about it. Okay, so what?
Forget about the live.
So what?
When you got down there to the cut, what'd you see?
And what cut?
You weren't at Fort Trey's house. Your brother told us you went out there. Danny said you went out there. He said that you went out there and it had to be done. Danny was scared. He thought it was a threat. That you went out there. And you eventually do that night. You walked to Fort Trey's house. Y'all get together the next morning, y'all talk about everything that happened, and y'all consider
If I'm
coming to the police and saying what happened, but then y'all get scared at the last minute.
If I'm at the house and I know I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, it's gonna be self-defense. Why would I go to Fortress house? I would just went back home.
I don't know why you went to Fort Trey's house after. Maybe because you didn't want to deal with the police. Maybe because it was a traumatic experience. Listen, I know you grew up in the neighborhood, but you ain't never had to shoot nobody before. You see what I'm saying? And you can think about from watching movies, rap videos, playing video games, that stuff don't affect you, but it does.
It's just bullshit. It don't affect nothing.
You didn't feel nothing?
No, I said that. What you talking about, video games and all that?
Yeah.
I said that don't affect nothing.
People think that it's just, I just go shoot somebody.
People like that be dumb as fuck.
Yeah.
How can you just go shoot somebody?
And not feel it. You gonna feel it. Whether you realize it or don't, it's in you. And you gotta carry it around with you. And you gotta deal with it. Whether it's justified or not, it doesn't matter. Of course it makes it easier, I think, maybe if you're justified. But so maybe that's why you went to Fort Trey's house. It's because you needed to cool down. That is a lot of stress.
If I'm gonna say it like this, if somebody would come to my house to tell me like this and that, bro, I'm finna do what I gotta do and I'm finna go back home. And my mom would've called the police. She would've been just like that, bro.
Is your mama there?
Yeah, but none of them went and told Mom about the live. They decided to handle it themselves.
Your mama would have called the police.
You said she wouldn't?
She would have called the police. Miss Stephanie would have definitely 100% called the police. And she would have begged and begged and begged her boys not to go outside. But I'll give you that they were coming fast. That they were almost there.
The questions have shifted away from the live stream since they weren't making much headway on that front. Anderson isn't inclined to be helpful.
I'll give you that. That, you know, depending on what time, when Miss Stephanie called and how soon somebody let her know what was going on, could the police have got there? I don't know. It depends on when y'all would have told her. At the beginning of the live video, you probably don't realize they're like completely 100% serious until they break over into the church parking lot from Wanish. You can clearly see where they are. You know exactly where they are. They're walking to the cut. By then, it's about too late. You know, the best you can do is lock all the doors and hide down low and hope they don't come inside. Because they're almost there. When they hit that cut, they're 300 foot from the door. Trust me when I say I feel for you. It's a bad position to be put in.
I'm trying to see what gun we even had to do that. Or anything. Shit, okay.
It is crazy. The whole thing is nuts. I done told you that. I think, like, societally, the position that you're put in as a young black man is crazy. That you got other guys your age that want to take your life for nothing. And that's what you got to deal with. I think that's insane. You think it's insane too, or you wouldn't have plans on getting out.
Say that again?
I said, you think it's crazy too. The whole situation's crazy. Now, I don't know where the disconnect here is. I don't know why we should believe you over your own brother, Danny, who's in there in tears.
I gonna believe everything. Y'all believe the streets when they first said it was us. Y'all ain't gonna believe nobody else but us.
No, I mean, the streets, think about it like this. The streets really don't come in the courtroom and sit on a stand and testify now, do they? the streets really don't have nothing to do with it. We can't arrest somebody based on the streets. We have to have evidence. We have to have witnesses. We have to be able to corroborate those witnesses. We have to be able to prove those witnesses are telling the truth. We just can't take rumor on the street.
Okay, then y'all gotta prove that the witnesses is telling the truth.
In other words, the evidence matches up to what your brother just told me.
Yeah.
While he was in here talking to you, I was talking to your brother and your mom. And what your brother just told me, the evidence matches up to it.
Yeah.
What evidence?
All the evidence.
There's
I'm
all
seeing.
kinds of evidence. There's video evidence. There's scene evidence. There's physical evidence. And there's everything we do. We've been doing this for a minute.
So what was the evidence y'all telling me that it was me?
Yeah.
Yes.
His statement, the statement that he gives, matches up to the evidence we know. Your own brother is saying that you did this. Now he's saying you did it for the right reasons. Okay. He's not trying to time you out. He's saying that you did it for the right reasons. Okay. But what he's saying, to put it in simple terms, makes sense with what we've uncovered during this investigation, and the streets ain't got nothing to do with it. Okay? If I wanted to talk about the streets, I could talk about the streets saying that Daniel went over and shot up Knowledge Gibson's mama's house, and that's why Knowledge Gibson came and put a gun to your mama's head, because that's what the streets say. Remember, I ain't really talked to you about anything having to do with what happened to Knowledge Gibson's mama, because that's just what the streets say. What I know to be factual is that Knowledge Gibson came over and put a gun to your mama's head. I know that to be 100% true because he got arrested for it. I know it to be 100% true that these people that were threatening you guys on Facebook Live and coming to your house that night are very, very close friends of Knowledge Gibson's, and you know this as well. Okay? Is that why they were coming over there? Yeah, most likely. Could there be some other beef? Could be. Streets say there's beef, but guess what? The streets ain't fact and the streets ain't proof. What is proof is they were coming over to the house. They were on Facebook Live while they were doing it. And they were making threats against you. Well, specifically your brother, Daniel. But the Anderson clan, and they were coming to the house on Tuskegee.
Purcell and the others were coming, and they were armed, although they said they wanted to handle things physically rather than using a weapon.
And they were making real, credible threats, okay? At least I would take them as so. I don't know how you took them because you're claiming that you didn't see the video. What's also fact is that we really don't believe that you were at Fort Trey's house. And we believe that you watched the video because there's an electronic log that Instagram keeps of when you log on and when you log off and comments you make and the things you watch and the things that you do. Okay? And that log shows that you, Mr. Getty himself, are logged on. And you've already told me that nobody else has my phone, nobody else has my password. Okay? So we know it to be true that you were logged on and you were watching the live. Now if you want to mix words, parse words, if you want to get into specifics and say that it was Danny that logged on, I didn't log, you kept saying I didn't log on. Well, okay.
Danny was on log.
Danny, let's just say Danny logged on, okay? But Danny showed you the live. He came in, laid on the bed, he showed you the live, and you knew what was up. You knew they were coming. You knew they were getting closer and closer and closer. You heard what they were saying. You heard what they were saying they were going to do. Now, what is not factual and what we can't prove is how you felt and what exactly you had to do and whether or not you think what you did was justified. That's what we can't prove because you won't tell us. The only person that can prove that
You
is
say on something I cannot know. How the fuck can I tell y'all something I don't know?
Then again, that would lead us to the conclusion that Danny is lying on you to save himself because Danny did this all by himself. And you were really at Fort Trey's house. You weren't home. It's just Danny's scared. Danny had your phone. Danny logged in with your phone from Tuskegee. He saw the live video. He was home, just him and Mama, because we know that Daniel was with Zoe. If you're going to maintain that you're over at Fort Trey's house, then young Danny, 15 years old at the time, had your phone, logged into your Instagram, and knew that he had to go defend his mama?
They could have just called the police. I said when they could have just called the police. Mom would have called the police.
Yeah, could have just called the police, but you didn't.
I was lying, bro.
Because mama wasn't told.
If my brother would have seen something like that, bro.
He's already admitted to seeing it. And he showed it to you.
Everything I say, I just go against what.
It's not going against. I'm telling you what your brother told me from his own mouth to me. He saw the live video. He went and showed it to you, and you watched the
I
live
can bring
video.
him in here?
No, I'm not bringing him in here. I'll bring your mom in here. She sat there with him while he told
Bring
her.
my mom in here?
I will. Yeah, and she'll tell you that Danny said that you did it.
I got it. Give me a breath pressure.
The difference here is you're either looking at self-defense or first-degree murder. Plain and simple. We saw the live video. We can see how it would be self-defense, but you have to tell us that. You have to tell us how you felt and what led up to it and how you were defending yourself and your family. We can't assume that. The law doesn't work that way. It's not your fault these guys were coming to your house.
That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. How can I tell y'all something I don't know?
Why did your brother tell me you did it?
I don't know.
Why did your brother tell me you did it? Why did your brother tell me you saw the live and you're trying to sit there and say you did it?
Everybody saying this person did it, this person did it, that
No,
person did it.
no, they're not. They're only pointing at you and Daniel.
All of the other witness statements are consistent with the evidence, but Anderson chooses to accept his role in Purcell's death.
And we've been able to rule Daniel out. Daniel's worried. He's trying to protect both of you. The only thing that can protect you is you telling the truth in this type of situation. You didn't ask them to come to your house. You didn't ask them to threaten you. You didn't ask them to bring their fire with them. You didn't ask for that. They did that on their own. And you had to do what you had to do to defend yourself and your family. That's fine, but only you can tell us that. Because only you can claim self-defense. Only the person who actually defended themselves and their family can claim self-defense. That's what we're trying to explain to you.
I know it's all trying to explain to me.
Then you're not understanding it, or I don't know why you're not coming off it and telling the truth, because that's the only thing that can claim self-defense is you. Your brother can't claim it for you. He thinks that's what you did. We think that's what you did based on what we saw.
Well, you can see. That's fine. Better.
These people already know. When they found out, I do not know. They ain't telling me. Okay, on the video, they seen the threats. They say we finna come do whatever, whatever. We got guns coming to hurt, whatever, at 5:38. Okay, that's my address. If you was going to defend yourself, us, or whoever, they can look at it that way, or they can look at it as when y'all seen them on the video saying what they was going to do. Why y'all ain't tell y'all mama for y'all mama to get the police on the scene? But the lady that just walked me down to smoke a cigarette, she said, "Ma'am, how fast things was moving." She said we probably wouldn't have made it there on time.
Can you tell him what Danny said? Because I don't think he trusts what you're saying.
Who's on?
He was saying that when he seen Ooh was saying when the live video, cause she told Ooh that we watched the live video. She said, "Ooh, I seen y'all on there watching the live video, and when y'all seen it and they said they was gonna do this and do that, and they was asking Ooh, what did your brother do then?" They was asking him questions, and Ooh was telling it that I seen my brother leave. I didn't see my brother leave with no gun, but I seen my brother leave. And he was saying something about did he go to AP? She was asking him, did he go to AP or did he go down the road?
Anderson's mother has been brought in. and she wastes no time laying the facts before her son. He is thrown off by her presence, which may give them the break they need.
I mean, like, I'm trying to find out and I don't even know.
I'm trying to find out.
Okay.
And my thing is, Ben, I'm thinking you was in the AP.
No. You brought Danquie. But didn't Danny tell us that he showed the live?
Yes, they did the live.
He showed the live to him, and then
About
he
the
left
boys
saying he's
saying
going
what
to
they
defend
gonna do.
himself. He's going to go defend them.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't believe us that Danny told us that. He doesn't believe us that Danny told us that. He went down there and defended them, and he shot them.
Yeah. Me and Hood in the same room.
Yeah, I told him that.
But my thing is,
Yeah.
He's not wanting to claim his own self-defense, is what it is.
Ben, my thing is, as a being a mother and as a being a mama, and a woman if I wasn't even your mama. When them people said that, you knew if y'all would have brought that to my attention, I would have had the police find that motherfucker. You knew it. Now tell them that you know it. We would have showed out on that video, y'all.
told them that.
What? Every officer on the force would have been over there.
Here's the thing: is your brother sitting in a room, Danny sitting in a room with your mama, said that Danquies wasn't at Fort Trey's house. Is that not what he said? Is that not what he said? Danny said that Danquies was home, right? He wasn't. Danquies is saying, I wasn't home, I was at Fort Trey's house. Fort Trey's house.
Who trying to tell me that you was in the room? I say, I ain't see my baby here.
Exactly.
I say, I did not see him
Well,
here.
first off, you were sitting in your room.
Yeah.
We're not worried about what you saw. Did Danny tell us that he was home?
Yeah, Danny said that in the other room. He said that, and I say, ooh, I ain't see my baby, and I did not say that. I said,
We're
I
not
ain't
worried
see
about
my
what
baby.
you saw. We're worried about what Danny saw because you didn't know anything about this until Danny sat
Until
there
it
and
was
said
over, really. You know, you didn't know any of this was going on.
No. And to find out all this, man, this shit gonna run me crazy.
Danny says, I showed Danquies the live.
The live video.
Went in there and woke him up, showed him the live. And he's saying, no, he didn't show me any live. I wasn't at home. I wasn't at home. I was with Fort Trey.
I ain't seen.
We're not asking
So,
what he doesn't believe us that Danny told us this stuff. So
Yeah, that's what my son said. But me personally, I'm the type of person, I ain't finna lie, not even for my mama.
Oh, I know.
I didn't see
If they'd have come to
my
you,
baby there.
Okay.
if they'd have come to you, I know you would have called the
Yeah.
police. I know that you would have, and he knows that you would have too.
So do you think
They didn't come to you.
Danny's lying, saying that he went down there to defend y'all?
I don't know about that issue right
No,
now.
do you think Danny would lie and try to say his brother went down to defend them?
Well, I think Danny
He's
was
trying
lying.
to say that Danny would lie and point at his brother as a shooter to defend you guys.
No, I won't think he would lie, but I think, if anything, he would, try to save him. So I think that's the truth, what he's saying or whatever, but I ain't see my baby there.
I understand you didn't.
So
Now, that ain't finna lie
that's all
about.
right. Nobody here thinks that Danny is lying on you
Yeah.
to hurt you or anything like that. We don't even think he's lying on you. I'm
But the
telling you,
officer said they already knew about this
what Danny's
before we
saying,
even came in today.
that's what we explained to Danquies. What Danny's saying lines up with the evidence. Okay, the only thing that we're asking you at this point is to stop lying to us about being at Fort Trez's house. Stop lying to us about watching the live, because Danny said you watched the live. He said you were at home. Okay, Danny believes that they were coming to do harm. I'm telling you that I'm watching the video, and they look like they're coming to do some harm. All right, did you watch the video?
I haven't shown you yet.
Okay, when you watch the video, you're gonna say, "Oh, those guys are coming to do some harm."
Y'all clearly.
We're not
You don't need to see the video because you've already seen it, bro.
We was at the house.
You've already seen it. That's the
I said
thing.
we're going to show your mom when we
Yeah.
get there.
But I said,
Danny,
so you
listen,
can get out,
listen. Hey, Danquies, your brother Danny said that you already saw it. Okay.
Let me ask you this. If
go ahead.
he go ahead and say that they was threatening me and they seen the guns or whatever and I went down there and boom bam, then what?
Listen. We're not gonna put words into his mouth.
Mhm.
Okay. We have literally extended the olive branch as far as we can extend it, and said that the guys are making threatening comments. They're saying they're gonna hurt people, just like I told you before. I'm assuming, because I wasn't in there, but I'm assuming that Danny said that it was threatening, right? And Danny said that he felt like it was something that, I don't know, justified or something like that. Only he can tell us what he felt if he was scared by what he saw. Only he can tell us exactly what he did step by step and whether or not he felt like that was his only choice. He's the only person that can tell us that.
Mrs. Anderson is well aware of what is at stake if her son refuses to talk, and she isn't impressed that he would give up the chance to claim it was self-defense.
And this isn't a case of, well, he just needs to admit to something that he didn't do and just say that he felt like he had to do it. The evidence is pointing at him. His own brother's pointing at him. I'm going to assume that, given everything that's happened here today, because it's just like Danny said, the three brothers got together and talked about this the next day, right? And they were saying, well, we just go to the police and tell them what happened, and then they kind of chickened out at the last minute and got scared, right? So I would almost assume that if we went back to Daniel and said, this is what Danny said, this is what we know, this is what your mom says, that even Daniel's going to be like, yeah, I wasn't there, but that's what they told me happened. We talked about going to the police, but backed out at the last minute.
And I never knew what happened to this day here.
Yeah, I know. If you didn't know all this, you'd have called us and you'd have drug them all in here and said, tell them the truth.
I call about everything else.
So,
you thought when that dude put that gun to my head, I was gonna go call y'all and then get me a gun and go shoot up? No.
I'm glad that you called. So I think that even Daniel's going to come in and he can at least say what they talked about after. I'm kind of at the point right now where, and I think we all are, where it's just like we told you, this thing goes one of two ways. We got to get over that hump as to he's going to have to start giving us some detail about what happened. And this is the thing, is he's been sitting here saying that I was at Fortre's house for so long and saying that I never saw the live video and I wasn't at home for so long. He's going to have to give details to prove that he was actually there.
And matter of fact, I thought this dude was already talked to the investigators and had to clear up that Danquies was with him to his house.
Yeah.
He wasn't.
No. So,
Put your hands on that is thing.
Your own brother said you were home and you left after seeing the video to go defend you.
yeah, it's not.
That's what we're telling you.
And again, I'm not. I know that you're not trying to be hard. I know that you went through.
Tell y'all self-defense or first degree murder.
Yeah.
I fucking will tell y'all something I don't know, bro.
You better watch your mouth.
He's okay. Doing look. I ain't doing
No, because for number one, when they came to the house, they told me that the videos. Now see, I don't think not one time these people try to railroad you. What I think right now is they trying to see if you come out with that information and if it matches up to a self-defense thing.
Y'all already got information. Why y'all still asking me questions?
Because we can't claim self-defense for you. How many times have I told you that? You can only do that for yourself. Yeah, that's the other option.
Let's don't even worry about that right now, okay?
Y'all said that, but
listen, that's a potential, okay? That's a potential, because right now the only person saying that they think this, what we think from watching the video don't necessarily matter as much as what y'all think from watching the video. Your brother says that, it was kind of a scary situation, they're making threats, and maybe Mama just needs to watch the video.
Can I see it?
You don't need to watch the video because you've already seen the video.
You keep telling me I've seen the video.
Yeah, I keep telling you that. So, that's the thing, is we're not messing around with you. You know the video exists. You know you've watched it. Your own brother said that you watched it. Now, I don't know how much of it you saw. I'll give you that.
Y'all brought my mom in here instead of Danny.
What is that now?
I asked my brother to come in here. Y'all brought my mom in.
You want Danny to come in here?
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that to Danny. You know why I'm not going to do it to Danny? Because Danny's broken up about what he had to say. And Danny's going to come in here and he's going to sit down. And what are you going to say, Danny? Why are you telling about all this? And Danny's
I'm gonna ask him what he's talking about.
Yeah, okay. Well, I think what he's talking about is he's talking about
So basically what y'all saying,
he showed you the video.
If I don't, if
Here's the thing. I'm not gonna beat around the bush anymore. I'm not gonna tell you. Honestly, he's saying that you went out and did this. No matter, you can say one of two things. You can say, yeah, I went out there and killed him in cold blood, or you can say that I believe that I was justified because of XYZ, the threats they were making, whatever.
Anderson isn't affected by speaking with his mother. His brother may have had a larger impact, but they can't afford to let him speak about the case.
Okay, but you're still gonna have to give me details about what happened. All right?
But why
Just-
would I say that if I don't know what the fuck happened?
Okay. 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 All right. So, I just want to be clear. Lift your head up so that we can see each other. You know. So you're saying that I wasn't there.
Yes.
Okay. You're saying I had no involvement in this, and that my brother is.
Don't the church got cameras?
Huh?
Don't the church got cameras?
We'll continue on. So you're saying that I wasn't there.
If the church got, listen,
No. You being there has nothing to do with whether or not the church does or does not have cameras. If you want me to sit here and show you church camera footage before you answer that question, then we got a problem. Because that means you're testing me to see how much evidence we got. And I'm not going to put up with that. So you tell me right now, were you there or were you not there?
I was not there.
Okay. You want to go with that? Because we'll roll with it. We will roll with that all the way from here on out. We'll roll with I wasn't there. I was at Poor Trey's house. If that's what you want to roll with.
If they ain't tripping,
Huh?
if y'all had evidence on me, bro, I would not be sitting here right now. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
You wouldn't be sitting
I would
here?
not be sitting right here.
Brother, take a look around. You are sitting here right now.
I'm saying, dude.
You're saying though what?
That's crazy, bro.
I want you to understand something, Danquies. You're not in handcuffs right now because I don't necessarily consider you a risk. By department policy, should you be in handcuffs at this moment? Should you be detained in handcuffs based on what we know? Absolutely. Every time I walk out of here, that door's locked. You're not going to get up and walk out of here right now. You are detained. So for you to sit here and say, this is crazy, if you had anything on me, I wouldn't even be sitting here.
I'm detained now?
Yeah.
I'm the first time you told me I wasn't, though.
Then you weren't.
You would have told me.
Once your brother in that other room said what he said, you're detained. You're not getting up and walking out of here right now. It ain't gonna happen. So for you to sit there and say that we don't have anything on you because you're not in handcuffs, that's where you're wrong. That's where you're wrong. We've got your own brother on you is what we got. We got your own brother on video, sitting there with your mother, breaking down in tears, talking about what happened. And we got you sitting in this room, continuing to say that you were at Fort Trey's house, leaving your little brother hanging in the wind all by himself. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. If you think that you had to do what you did, then you need to be a man and you need to stand up and you need to talk about it. You need to explain to me why you had to do what you had to do. Right now, you're sitting over there like a scared little boy, is what you're doing. That's exactly what you're doing. And you keep saying over and over again, I was at Fort Trey's house. Fort Trey can't save you anymore. He cannot save you anymore.
Never say he can't. I'm just telling you,
Okay.
what?
Okay. You went to Fort Trey's house? Yes. Were you at Fort Trey's house right before this thing happened? Nope. You were at home. When it happened, you know where you were? You were right there on the edge of the church parking lot at the end of Tuskegee. That's where you were. That's where you were. Did you go to Fort Trey's house later in the night? Yeah, you walked down to Fort Trey's house. Did you? Did Danny and Daniel walk down there to AP to see you later that night? Mm-hmm. They got stopped by. Yeah, they got stopped by an officer. Maybe they didn't make it all the way. I don't know. I don't know what Danny said about that if they made it all the way. But what I do know is they got stopped by a cop as they were walking there.
So what you're telling me right now, I ain't leaving. I ain't going home.
Until we sort this out, you're gonna sit right there in that chair for a little while, son.
So I've been hanging out all day. So that's not having right all day and go home. That's what you're saying.
That might be what the disconnect is here, is you're worried about all day and you're not worried about your future. You're worried about being inconvenienced for a few hours because you're really being home playing 2K or something like that. You're not worried about tomorrow, the next day, the day after that, the year after that, the year after that. You're worried about right now. I feel inconvenienced by having to be here. Guess what? I'm sorry that you got threatened, okay? I'm sorry that all this has happened because of the back and forth between one group and the other, and it finally culminated. It came to a head when these guys got on live.
Anderson has been fishing for information, but he still doesn't think that they have enough to build a case against him. What he doesn't understand is that people have been sent to prison on less.
Instead, they're coming to your house to do stuff, to do harm, all right? You did what you did. This is the situation you're in, and we need to deal with it, okay? You're the only one that can tell us why you did what you did, how you felt, what you felt like you had to do. Okay. I can't make those statements for you. I can't. Only you can do that. So I'm sorry if you feel inconvenienced. And what he did, and I've already told you, I think he's wrong. He shouldn't have been going over there doing that. He's still dead, and there still has to be some type of accounting of that. Can you understand that?
Yes, sir. I understand what you're talking about. I understand everything what you're talking
So
about.
I'm sorry that you feel like you're inconvenienced and you're worried about whether or not you're going to go home in a couple hours, but you need to stop worrying about the next couple hours. The next couple hours are pretty important for you, because they determine what's going to happen in the coming days, okay? Only you can tell me, only you can give me evidence as to what happened out there, whether or not this was justified or not. If you choose to do so, then we will listen, and we will continue to do what we've done for the last 8 months, which is not come to any rash conclusions, not listen to word on the street, and actually follow the case where the case goes. What you tell me, we will investigate and we will follow up on. Okay?
I see you gonna go to sleep.
Got my eyes closed, but I'm not going to sleep. So what do you want to do, Danquies? Do you want to go into this thing with your official recorded statement being, I wasn't there?
What else was gonna say? So what else was gonna say?
That's it. I was waiting for a response.
What'd you say?
Do you want to go into the rest of this? You want to enter into this court process?
Court process?
Yeah, this could potentially end in a trial, son. Do you want to go into that with your official statement being, I wasn't there? I was at Trade Force House. I never saw the live. The statements that Danny made are incorrect. I wasn't there. Is that how we leave this? Because if that's how you want to go into this, I can get up and I can walk out of the room, and that's fine. And we'll leave it like that.
You're not gonna leave me in for all day, bro.
Quit thinking about all day. Because if you go into this with that being your statement, I wasn't there, this thing is going to hit you in the face like a freight train. And you will look fondly back at the day that you were sitting in this room and say that room was a lot more comfortable than where I'm at now.
The detective has to explain that this is going to trial, whether Anderson confesses, and that by the time this interrogation is over, he will be charged with murder.
Because that is what you're opening yourself up to. And if that's what you want, if that's the way you want to leave things, is a claim of I wasn't there, at this point, I'm happy to help you with that. Okay? I can make that happen. If you don't like me, you feel like I don't understand you, if you feel like I've suddenly become too hard on you, and you'd rather talk to another investigator, tell me, and I will be more than glad to leave the room and have somebody else that you feel more comfortable with come in and talk to you. Would you like that?
Man, I didn't do it. Why would I not like you? I just know you do your job.
I am. And I really don't want to see you screw up everything that you want to do. Because you're being a knucklehead and you're being hard-headed. And you've got it in your head that if I just sit here and pretend like what Danny's saying doesn't matter, all this will go away. And I'll be back on Tuskegee tonight playing 2K. Because unless you can square this up, make it make sense, that ain't gonna happen. There is no way that we can just let you go and say, well, it sounds like it could have been justified. What's the state attorney's office going to say? Well, what did he tell you? Well, he didn't really tell us anything. He said he wasn't there. And they're going to say, and you got all this evidence saying he was? His own brother? And you just let him go? He didn't give you any explanation?
Okay. That video, he made us look straight pussy. Like we some pussy ass people. And y'all was coming. Y'all was coming and you was saying what you got and what you gonna do. Cause that video made me feel a whole totally different way. If these police can't see that as self-defense, I'ma find money for a lawyer. Cause that's what it'll be. Now, I'm a different person. Now I was sitting over there sad and mad and don't want them to do this to my son, this and that and the third. But you made us look straight pussy. You said y'all was coming. You had the gun in the book bag. And when she stopped the video is in Bethel parking lot. And if you come up the little side road, which is our house.
The cut. Right there.
They was threatening y'all.
300 foot from your front door.
And you went to go protect yourself or whatever the fuck you went to go do. And guess what? That's what I want you to go with, and I ain't finna let you down. Because I roll with God. I don't know who you roll with, but I roll with God. Now let's get this over with. You either going with me, or you gonna go your own route. Did you see the video?
We haven't showed it to him, and there's a reason why we haven't showed it to him, and I'll tell you what it both is if he's going to have to give us detail of what happened.
Go ahead, baby. I'm not going to lead you wrong. I got the best man in the world with me.
He has to base that detail off of what.
And you know, I don't play by God. I ain't finna let you down, and I ain't giving up. I ain't giving up. No. Cause now I'm feeling a certain way. You act like we was pussy. And then you want to nick and nag at me because when I heard that y'all were having beef, I went to your mama with no problems or no disrespect. And you want to get on live in front of the whole community and laugh at me like I'm pussy. Man, it couldn't be me. Because I would have been told them people, yeah, they said what they were going to do to me. And yes, I did so and so. You ain't got no other choice. But I'm coming with God. I don't know who you coming with. And I ain't giving up.
How big he doing?
That's talking about other son.
Yeah.
That's
this is
Danny.
How's Danny?
He's in the other room.
Is he okay though?
I don't know. I ain't been back in there.
Go check on him, cause he was.
I don't know which way
I know
to go.
he's all torn up.
Anderson's mother returns, and she pushes him to be honest. He is unable to answer her.
Y'all can bring him in house.
Can't. Not at this point. It's too late. He's a witness. Same reason I can't let you look at the video right now. It's because you have to give details about what happened based on your own memory, what you saw, what you observed, what you felt, not what you're seeing now on the video. I can't have you and Danny sit in this room and talk about what happened before you tell me about what happened. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because then you're getting information from him. Somebody looking from the outside in is going to say, oh, well, they let him talk to the witness, Danny. They let him watch the video. That's how he knew what to say. You got to tell your own story. You got to tell how you felt, what you saw, what you smelled. You know, everything. Every detail that you can remember about how everything made you feel from the get-go. To exactly what happened when they're coming through the cut on you. And we can't tell that story for you. The video can't tell that story for you. The video can't tell us how you felt and what you were thinking.
I just might have to tell y'all how I felt, tell y'all how I was thinking.
Yeah.
What if I can't do that?
Well, I know that not everybody is, is as good at describing their feelings. But, you can describe your feelings in basic terms. You can tell me when you're mad, you can tell me when you're sad, you can tell me when you're happy. You can tell me when you're scared, you can tell me when you're not scared.
No, I asked you, what if I can't tell y'all that?
Okay.
That's what I asked. Like,
why wouldn't you be able to tell me that?
No, I'm just asking, like, in general, like, what if?
If you can't tell me?
Yeah. No, and...
Yeah.
Checking the wrong way.
I don't know. I'm trying to... Are you saying that you can't tell me how you felt because you weren't there? Or you can't tell me how you felt because you're not good at describing your feelings?
First one.
The first one. Okay. So you're saying, what if I can't tell you how I felt because I wasn't there? That's not where we're at right now.
I'm asking you.
Yeah.
Can you just ask me?
Okay.
To tell y'all how I felt.
Mm-hmm.
What if I can't tell y'all that? What if I can't do that?
Okay. Well, let's skip over feelings. Okay. Can you tell me what you saw when you were there?
Saw when I was what?
When you were there.
There at the scene?
Yeah. And if it's easier for you to start chronologically, meaning like from the beginning, because a lot of people, it's easier for them to tell the story from start to finish, then do that, and we won't interrupt. If you want to start from the time you saw the video and tell us what you did, as opposed to tell us how you felt, that's fine.
I'm just asking y'all, if I can't tell y'all how I felt, what's gonna happen?
Right,
and that first degree murder?
No. This is what I'm saying.
Are you saying, are you still sticking to I wasn't there, and that's why I can't tell you how I felt? Because there's a difference. There's you saying I can't tell you how I felt because I wasn't there, I didn't do it. And there's a difference between that and I really can't tell you how I felt because I'm not really good at expressing my feelings. So which of the two is it? You're not good at expressing your feelings, or you have no feelings about it because you weren't there. Which of the two? If you have problems expressing your feelings, that's not an issue.
I swear you didn't answer my question.
I'm not answering your question?
No.
Okay, ask your question a different way because I'm not understanding.
So y'all was to have somebody else in here.
Yeah.
For the same stuff, y'all ask them,
Uh-huh.
tell us how you feel and how you felt and what you saw.
Right.
What if they can tell y'all that? What if they don't like? What if they can tell y'all that?
If they couldn't, generally speaking, I've never had anybody in here that was involved in a justifiable shooting, and that goes for officers and for people, regular people. I've had quite a few of those where it was regular people that, for whatever reason, they had to use force, deadly force against somebody. In no circumstance have I ever had somebody that couldn't tell me how they felt.
Anderson is feeling the detective out and trying to determine if it will benefit him to admit that he was in the parking lot.
I'll give you, for example, I won't give you like all the details because, it's a case and it involves a person and everything else, but he's in his house, he's asleep, his wife is in the bedroom. Guy takes a giant concrete pot, throws it through a glass window, one of the big, beautiful house. I mean, it's way nicer than the house that I'd ever owned, but throw it through a big glass door, like window French doors, and the guy comes in to the house. This guy wakes up after hearing that. He sees this guy coming across his living room. He grabs this gun off the nightstand and he shoots the guy.
That's different. If somebody come in your house and you
It's
licensed?
sort of different. Well, it has nothing to do with being licensed. You can have a gun without you don't have to have a license to have a gun.
No, I'm saying like
It's not much different.
somebody gets charged.
Yeah, and he said, was he able to describe his feelings? Yeah, he said, I was terrified, I was scared. I mean, this guy's coming across, all of a sudden I wake up to this guy breaking into my house. He's coming across the living room floor. I was terrified, I was scared. So yeah, in other circumstances where it hasn't been in a house, it's been on the streets, people can still tell us how they felt. They're like, yeah, dude, I mean, that guy was coming at me with a knife or whatever. And, well, how did you feel? They might not be able to say, well, my life flashed before my eyes, and I felt like I was going to, but what they can say is they say, well, I thought he was going to freaking kill me. I thought I was going to die, So that's why I don't necessarily understand what you're saying. When you say, what if I can't tell you how I felt?
Oh, y'all probably put him like, oh, he can't tell us how he felt because he don't want to tell us. It ain't no like that. I'm saying like, I'm just asking y'all like, what would happen? Because that's what she said. She said either it's gonna be self-defense,
Right.
First degree.
I guess the question, what's giving me a problem with the question is why wouldn't you be able to tell us how you felt? Because there's a difference. If you're not good at talking about feelings, that's one thing. If you can't tell us how you felt because you're sticking to the story of I wasn't there, that's different. I'm telling you. If you're going to stick with that statement of, if that's your official statement, at the end of this is I wasn't there, this whole thing is going to hit you like a freight train. We can do that for you if that's what you want. I don't want to do that to you. I think there's an explanation. I think there's a reasonable explanation as to why you went out the door and started walking down towards the cut at the dead end of Tuskegee. I need you to tell me what that was. I need you to give me some detail about what occurred down there, just like you were telling a story, like you were writing a song, like you were writing a book, writing a movie. I need you to give us some detail.
Part of that detail is what you thought was going to happen if these guys came to your house. And the other part is what you did once you got down there and they confronted you or you confronted them.
Anderson is feeling the detective out and trying to determine if it will benefit him to admit that he was in the parking lot. Anderson has resisted telling the truth, but is quickly becoming apparent that he can't continue to avoid telling his story if he wants to avoid a murder charge. In the next video, we'll see if the detectives are successful in getting him to talk, or if he will maintain his silence and hang all of his hopes on a trial. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, there is a Patreon link in the description where you can support the channel further. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.